What up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships with DJ Eddie King.
Cheer.
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 Yeah, this is your boy M3. As always, make sure.
You got double. You got a double background.
Double background?
No, you don't. No, you don't. Sorry, that was me.
Hey, it's all good though.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this is your boy M3. And make sure you ladies, you gentlemen, you thieves that's out there, right? Get your minds right before you come up here. Especially you manosphere and feminist boys and girls, whatever, however y'all call each other. I don't even give a damn no more. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. And hold on, let me go ahead and bring in Mr. Best in the World.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay, I think he's chilling in the background real quick, but he'll come up. But yeah, hold on, let me turn the music down just a little bit. I'll turn on the 10. No, 15. Okay, I think we're good now with the sounds.
Okay.
Anyway, so shout out to Mr. Best with come up with the topics, man. So tonight's topic is: are the rich black people responsible for the black community? Woo! Now, of course, for the rich folks, right? They'll be like, they're gonna be like, oh shoot, here we go again, right? They're gonna hold us rich folks accountable, you know. But nah, it's not even like that. This is not like a way to say, hey, folks, right? Rich people, come and just, you know what I mean? Just pour out and give to the community. We want to give you guys reasons, okay, why we think that if we could work in partnership together with the rich, then life will be good. Now, I'm having some technical issues with the Knowledge Relationships on Rumble. Look, man, I don't know what's been going on with Knowledge Relationships on Rumble, but man, this shit been tripping. Let me make sure that we are live on Rumble real quick, okay? I swear, like, you try to prepare, and
it's always something
goes your way. Yeah, it's always something, man. Like, look, I like Rumble, but I don't like their system, man. It's just so buggy.
Yeah.
Let me go to live streaming real quick just to see if we are live. So it's saying, okay, so it is saying that we are live. So all right. So I guess we are good. I just want to make sure. Anyways, but when you do click on it, it doesn't show it right away. So we gotta give a shout outs to Miss Nebraska. Thank you for Miss Nebraska. She was like the first, our fellow, national Cornhusker. She says Jay-Z and Diddy said they're not responsible for you ninjas. And then we got Stan the Man, Joseph.
Stan the Man. What's up, brother?
All right. He says good evening. Good evening to you as well, Stan. Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm going to share the Rumble link. Look like we got two people watching, so somebody has better access than I do. So but let me go ahead and I'm going to share the link to Rumble. So, folks, man, I encourage you guys join Rumble and follow us. Okay?
Yeah.
He's Eddie King. Before we begin this topic, right? Because I created some slides this time. Some good bullet points.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts like tonight?
Is on the topic or just
on the topic.
Okay, well, on the topic, I feel like I feel like part of them is responsible because it's not like we're asking for any money. You see what's going on in our communities. You actually see what's going on in communities. Now you can sit back and say, well, hey, I have millions of dollars. But then you got to also tell yourself, like, hey, well, I bought everything already. I got everything I've ever wanted. I still have millions of dollars left over. What am I going to do with the rest of this money? Oh, I'm going to pass it down to my children. Your children don't need $100 million. $20 million is fine. But I'm going to give my whole $100 million to my children. And I just what I think about that, right?
Okay.
You know, $20 million is good enough for the kids. You know, let's just say because you have millionaires like 200-300 million, you know, in a bank account. You know, your kids is fine. Your kids is always going to be fine. Who in the chat is not fine with $20 million? You know, that's like that's a lifetime already. And you still have, you know, $330 million. So what are you going to do with the rest of the money? Are you just going to keep it there, just sitting in the bank? You know, like you have everything already, so there's no excuse. What else do you want to do with the money? Are you trying to do some good with the money, or are you just trying to do some bad with the money, or you just want to sit up there like, you know, like a lazy fat bum, or, you know? But if you ask me, I feel like that they are responsible. They see what's going on. They absolutely see what's going on. I don't care how rich you is. They actually see what's going on in the neighborhoods, you know. But a lot of times, you know, millionaires are too busy trying to look good for other millionaires. You know, there's a lot of people who a lot of what do you call that? Arrogant. Yeah, there's a lot of arrogant rich people. You know, so if they see you doing, you know, hey, you're going out there and help the community and stuff, they're not going to like that. You know, next thing you know, they're gonna start getting into politics. They're gonna start getting into taxes and all that stuff. You know, man, I say, listen, this is your money. You earned that money. You make the millions of dollars. They didn't give you the money. You earned that. So you can do whatever you want to do with the money. You know, stop being stingy and come help your community. You know you want to. Yes. We know that you don't want your kids coming in, going back to the community. You take the kids to private school. We get that. But there's other children down here as well. That's not your kids. That's suffering. You know, yeah, the mothers out here suffering. You even have the fathers. The good fathers are suffering. And even those that's not a father or a mother, they still suffering. You know.
Yeah.
Don't be. You know. I feel like, you know, you should come on down to the community. What are you going to do with the rest of the money? Like seriously, what are you going to spend? You bought everything already. What are you going to do with it? Nothing. You can't do anything. You got everything. So you might as well come on downtown and give it to people, man. Give it to people.
Got it. Okay. Real quick, right? I see where we had like a technical issue with the Rumble side. Sorry, guys. Right? I realized I accidentally streamed on my personal Rumble without selecting knowledge and relationships. That's why we was having some issues with it. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. I don't know how I could share this actually to on a knowledge relationship side on Rumble, but we're gonna get to the topic real quick. Just give me about like give me 2 minutes. DJ Eddie, continue to rock real quick, okay?
Okay, so yes, I really do feel that millionaires millionaires that are black do owe the black community for the simple fact that, you know, you can't do anything else with the money. You know, you bought everything you wanted, just like I said, you bought everything you wanted. You wanted to you gave it to your kids, okay, they're fine, they're great. You know, and for their kids, for your grandchildren, they're fine already. They're good. So it's like, what are you gonna do with the rest? You know, okay, stock market and all that stuff. Okay, you already got that. You still have millions of dollars left over. What are you gonna do with the rest? You know, you have to really, for the millionaires, you got to really look at yourself in the mirror, you know, and stop being selfish. And and I'm not saying, hey, throw us $10,000 back. No, I'm just saying, hey, you know, spend money on the community, maybe new houses, maybe new tents for the homelessness, or, you know, spend something, do something for your community. You're in the same community, you're just in a rich part of the community. That's all. Do something for yourself, man. You know, help the people. Give them a chance. You know, there's also, you know, people need jobs. Y'all can fix that. You guys can fix that. It's like, what are you mad about? Why are you so angry? I don't want it. They ain't never gave me nothing. Nobody never gave anybody anything. So it's like, now what? What do you have to say for yourself? No one gave anybody anything. Nobody owes no one anything. Just have a heart. Basically, have a heart, man. Because I know for a fact, if I was a millionaire, I would definitely go and help my people, even though I know how they are. You know, I know how they are. Sometimes, you know, they could be AHs, you know, but there's some good out there as well. There's a lot of us out there that are good people. They don't deserve to be left in the hole without any money. They can't get jobs. You know, it's hard on us anyway. It's hard for us to get a job. You know, unless you know somebody that's already like a manager that you probably grew up with or something like that, or you have friends for you to know, or you went to school. You know, sometimes a lot of people, school's not for a lot of people. You know, sometimes school is hard. School is very hard. I don't know if some of those out there went to college, but it's hard. You know, they just need help. Maybe you could spend money on better programs for the people, like better learning skills. Do something for yourself. You know, don't give it to the charity, because all they're gonna do is keep it. They're gonna pocket the money. Everybody know that. So I don't know if you rich folks out there just think that all of us are just dumb. We're not dumb. We know where that money's going, and directly into the charity's pocket. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, thank you, DJ Eddie King. Yeah, I'm almost finished with the video right now. Sorry for the technicality, man. We're streaming things like on Rumble, but you know, there's gonna be a lot of hiccups. We're still learning how to work this thing, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, it takes like a minute to try to get everything all situated, but we're almost about to be live like on Rumble. So I just want to say thank you everybody for your patience. Yeah, just give me about one more minute. Try to navigate all through this shit. You know,
we have the man. There he is, the one, the only, Mr. Best in the world, 84.
What's going on, family? What's going on?
What is going on?
What's going on, man? Just combating with technical issues. That's all.
That's all good, man. You know what I mean? Salute to Rumble. You know what I mean? You know, we figuring it out.
Salute to Rumble.
But I will say this: are they responsible for the Black community? It'll be nice, but man, they don't have to. That's the crazy part of the thing. That's the crazy thing with freedom. You know what I mean? We have freedom, so now people can choose to be a part of a movement or choose not to be a part of a movement, and they could choose to be Black when they want to be Black. You know what I mean? They could choose to be, you know, helpful when they want to be helpful. That's what freedom and capitalism allows people to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I know a lot of times we may want a lot of old school traditions, a lot of old school ways, or we want to have that one community that we used to have, but man, freedom and the bag and that money, that make people act different, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like you do. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand that, like, when people able to do what they want and they getting money, it ain't really much you can really do at that point, man. You can try to hold them accountable. You can try to tell them that they should, but they liable to say, I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we live in a society where that's okay. You know what I mean? Where you could just take care of you and that's it. You know what I mean? And nobody can do nothing about it. You know what I mean? You don't have to answer to no country. You don't got to answer to no society. You ain't got to answer to nothing. You know what I mean? So because they don't have to answer to nobody, they can do that. But if they have something to answer to, then yeah, they will have to move differently. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. People like it's like, you know, when you in the house with your parents, right? And they tell you to turn the TV off at 10 o'clock. Guess what? The TV going off at 10 o'clock. Maybe 9:59. You know what I'm saying? But now you move to your own place. Hey man, TV can stay on as long as you want.
Freedom.
I'm in my house now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my own crib. I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We live in the rules by somebody else's house, man. You know what I mean? This is somebody else's house and they make the rules. We don't make the rules here. So because we don't make the rules here, people can live and do what they want. Know what I mean? That's really what it is. So, you know, I mean, I would like for it to be where the Jay-Z's and the Oprahs and all that do something about the black community. That would be nice. That would be nice. But that's not reality. You know what I mean? Reality is that's not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, like, you know, y'all know, like, the majority of the time, like, you know, when you look at the news, they'll say, hey, we will open up these programs in the next 20 years. You know, great programs, but we got to wait 20 years for it. But as far as, you know, only reason why we got to wait because, you know, it's a lot of money. You know, it's going to take a lot of time to open up these programs. But then you got these rich folks, they see it, they watch the news too every single day. They have everything they ever wanted. What are they going to buy? Another yacht? They already got one. They're like 3. And it's like when you do spend some money, you know, let's just say you do spend some money, you know, okay, well, these programs is going to be opening within a year because you brought some money to the table. You know, yes, there are stingy people out there. Yes, there are some ungrateful people out there, you know, in the normal world like us, you know, but you could be a big help. But you're right though, Mr. Best. You know that they can do whatever they want to do with the money. But the thing is, they've already did it. They've already did it. They got every every pair of shoes in the stores. They got every pair of t-shirts, socks, shoe, whatever. They got everything already. They don't need anything else. So what is the next thing to do? It's better to help your community than to turn to drugs. Because a lot of times, anytime that people got everything they ever wanted, they turn to drugs because there's nothing else. There's really nothing else for them to buy but drugs.
Oh shit! What the hell? Excuse me, folks. My bad. I think the raindrops was falling from the ceiling somewhere. Anyways, you know, we have She Stole My Thunder in the building. She says, hello, watching in the background. Interesting topic. I got you. She Stole My Thunder. I also have to give I had to read the comments because you know, little Miss Nebraska's getting sassy. She says, Miss Winfrey said she is not responsible for ninjas. Okay. I think she said that, or maybe she said J and E. No, it was different. And then Stan says, black rich people aren't responsible. They have their own lifestyle and community. They are investing in this beyond buying stuff. He says, Miss Nebraska, stop. Rich black folks are disciplined and sacrifice. And sacrifice is why they got into the government. Zaddy job. Okay. And then forever, I'll just say it like that. He says, let's see, before the black millionaires contribute, we need those reparations from the government who took our ancestors' property without compensation and took our ancestors' parents for inventions without compensation. Okay. Stan says, DJ Eddie, there's programs and services already for folks. If they throw that money at problem, they can't. No, if they throw money at the problem, they can't solve. And then he says, then charity needs to be held accountable instead of the rich. Okay.
Of course, yeah. I agree with that part. Charity need to be responsible.
Stan also says that didn't Ice Cube come up with policy to help black people, but it got shut down by black women starting from Fox Soul. Yes.
Well, that's because sometimes when people start something, it's all about money. Even though they're rich, they still want money out of it.
Salute, Lady. We see you.
Yeah, salutes too. You know, my celebrity like E, so salutes to you. Says, what's up, Van?
Hey,
okay. Everybody feel free to join in the conversation. You know, Lady E, feel free to come up, okay?
But see, the thing is that people was coming. It wasn't just women. It was a lot of people coming against Ice Cube because he met with Trump. So they were saying, "Oh, you a traitor. Oh, you know, how could you meet with him? Blah 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 blah." So it was a contingent of people that was going after him and Steve Harvey, right? Because Steve Harvey met with Trump too. It was a contingent of people who were like, "Man, how y'all meeting up with him? You know what I mean? Y'all traitors. Y'all don't love us. Blah 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 blah." But it's like, As one person said, how can we make the changes if we don't speak to the people that are in control? You know what I'm saying? So if I don't speak to Trump and he able to talk to, you know, Congress and all that and get bills passed, then how are we supposed to make things happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna just sit back and then he gonna be here for 4 years and I'm not gonna say nothing to him and then we don't get nothing done? That's not gonna make anything good happen.
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Exactly. It don't make any sense. You know, I came up with some bullet points, man, because I think structurally we need to talk about some of these issues and kind of get like a narrow understanding. Shout outs to the people who are watching on Rumble. We got 2 folks watching, so salute to you guys. We got like 6 to 10 people watching us in total on other social medias. So salutes. So my thing is, right, when it comes to rich people, yes, they're not obligated to give. However, you know, I'm going to go with both angles, okay? Whereas the ones who are not rich like us, we can still hold our communities accountable, you know, by doing certain things to kind of get there. But it will be a plus and a benefit if the rich and the non-rich can still come together. Forget about the class, okay? The financial class. If we combine thought into finance, we could actually build an infrastructure. So, you know, these are kind of like my little bullet points that I came up with, because there are several reasons why the Black community may feel that rich Black people should be responsible. And then we got some solutions coming up, all right? So, all right, let's go with this one. So, and it's like little 8 bullet points, right? Shared experiences. Okay, rich Black individuals often come from similar backgrounds. Okay, I don't care how rich, how poor you are. Okay, if you ever try to think that you're better than your own people, but guess what? The person who you're trying to please is still going to look at you like you're the same. Okay, so remember, a lot of us, we look at shared experience fosters a sense of responsibility to give back and uplift those facing similar struggles. Meaning that, look, you don't have to give your finance, but give your wisdom, so that person could be on your level. Okay? We have representation. Wealthy Black people serve as role models and symbols of success. Whether or not you don't consider yourself a role model, there's always going to be someone that's going to adopt you to be one. So those people are inspiring others and demonstrating that success is attainable for members of the Black community by taking responsibility for the community's well-being, and they help foster hope and resilience. Why do you think a lot of people respect JC so much? They don't just respect him because, like, oh, you know, he's this rap star and this and that. They respect him because he's like a symbol of hope of what we could do. Now I'm talking about our hope to become the next rapper, you know, but the next businessman. How we could use the money that we earn to circulate those dollars and make a better outcome in the future for us. Should I continue, or do you want me to pause on this one?
Continue, sir.
No, you good, bro. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. All right, so the other one is systematic inequality. Systematic inequality is due to historical and ongoing systematic racism. The Black community faces numerous disparities in areas such as education, wealth, and opportunities.
Hey man, that boy DJ, he said inequality.
Hey, Mr. Best, radiator.
I gotta find out who sing that shit, man, for real.
Hey, maybe the chat could probably tell you though. Successful Black individuals have the resources and influence to address these issues and work towards achieving a social justice. Social capital. Rich Black people often has extensive networks and connections. A lot of times that is really true. They do see money as power. That can be leveraged to create opportunities and facilitate a positive change in the Black community. Their involvement and support can help amplify the voices of marginalized individuals. Then you have economic power. Wealthy Black individuals have the finances, no shit, right, to invest in the Black community for supporting Black-owned businesses to funding initiatives that address significant issues affecting the Black community, affecting the community, such as education, healthcare, and criminal justice reform. Okay? So, from these other bullet points, right? Because you have the systematic inequality, meaning that we know what it feels, okay, to be discriminated. We know what it feels to maybe not be able to attain something, not because of our hard work ethic, but probably because of the layers of our skin, the extra melanated, the extra melons that we have. You know what I mean? So when Black people see another Black person that's successful, these are some other things that we think about. And if you think beyond and further, you're like, man, I could actually, have somebody work and fund Black-owned business. Mm-hmm. But shout outs to Marcus. Salute my brother. Salute, soldier. He says,
oh yeah, Marcus, salute, soldier. Zodiac killer. Radiator. Radiator.
Yeah. I can't take these. I can't take these guys seriously.
Hey man, hey, you other content creators, man, don't be stealing our shit either, man. Please.
Man, tomorrow it's going to happen, Mr. Best. I'm sorry. They're gonna look at it. They're gonna look. They're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, right? What did he say?" Okay, he did.
And that's what they literally do. They literally write this stuff down.
Yeah, man. Almost caught myself, man. But anyways, so creating a cycle of success. When successful Black individuals invest in the Black community, they help create opportunities for others to achieve, which in turn can lead to a cycle of prosperity that benefits the entire community. Last one is cultural responsibility. A sense of cultural responsibility can drive rich Black individuals to contribute to the Black community, as they recognize the importance of preserving and promoting their heritage, history, and traditions. Okay? Community bonds. Many wealthy Black individuals maintain strong ties to the Black community and feel a personal responsibility to give back, supporting the idea that it takes a village to raise and empower a community. So in summary, the Black community may feel that Black rich people should be responsible, but they don't have to be responsible, and a lot of them choose not to be responsible for the Black community due to shared experience, representation, systematic inequality, social capital, economic power, the power for creating a cycle of success, cultural responsibility, and community bonds. And shout outs to Big Rick Slaps, though, by the way. Salute to your brother.
Big Rick Slaps, big brother, what up?
Salute.
Yeah. Of course, there's more to it, but we're gonna stop the screen real quick so we could kind of digest into all this.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Rumble. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Shout outs again to Rumble. All right, Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the XFL?
XFL.
Mm-hmm. Not the NFL.
Yeah, that's the WWE football league. Yeah.
Yeah. Created by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his ex-wife. I forgot her last name. I mean, her first name. Man.
Nope, M3, you're wrong. So XFL was created by Vince McMahon. It was, but what happened was that the XFL had got taken off of TV about 20 years ago, almost about 20 years ago, because he lost the. And there's a story, a 30 for 30 story about the XFL.
Okay.
It had got taken off of NBC because of low ratings. Because he was him and the guy from NBC, the guy who runs NBC, like the actual company, they are childhood friends, and he gave him a spot on NBC, but because the ratings were so low, he took that spot away. But now, Vince McMahon allowed The Rock now to run XFL. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you for the correction in the history lesson too. So there's more to it.
Yeah. If you get a chance, watch the 30 for 30 on the XFL. That joint is fire. I'm telling you.
Where can I find that at? Because is it like
30 for 30 is on either Amazon Prime. No. I think it's either Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, or Hulu. It's either one of those three. I know that for a fact. I think it's Disney Plus. It's Disney Plus, bro. Disney Plus.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely try to look for that too, though. On a serious note, because I be seeing like the stuff like on The Rock's Instagram and his ex-wife, which I can't remember her name at the moment, but they be posting. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of dope. I mean, in my mind, I was like, yo, like that sets off for future generations. Although, I mean, they're not black folks or anything, but it's the idea, you know what I mean? That anything is possible, but you got to have people that can actually give it a green light. And since Mr. Brest put, pretty much elaborate on the history behind it, you see how people like Vince McMahon, a multi-billionaire, giving The Rock the opportunities, you know what I mean, to create like to pretty much bring back life into an event that was like, almost could have been long and gone. You feel me? Salute to Alonzo Hall. Salute.
Alonzo Hall was good, baby.
Somebody say 6 man. No chance.
That's what you got.
No chance in hell. But yeah, man. So like, but see, how many people like us that can actually get into these things, but then yet we don't do that. What's up, Alonzo Hall? How you doing?
Alonzo Hall, baby.
What up? Hold on, let me fix my mic. Hold up.
No problem. In the meantime, I've been hearing Puff Daddy was talking about like, yo, man, we need to start off like a football league and or some type of basketball league and all that. And I get it. And I don't know. Like if they ever did something.
Man, he been saying that for like almost a decade now.
Exactly.
Ice Cube is the only one that really make it happen.
Exactly.
With the Ice Cube joint, the basketball joint. What's the Ice Cube league name? What's the name of that league? DJ Eddie? I forget the name of it, bro.
The name of the football league?
The basketball league that Ice Cube got.
Oh, the basketball league. What's the name?
Oh man, what's the name of that joint, bro? It come on right after the basketball season end. I wish Atlanta Braves was up here, man. He would know what it was. Let me look it up. Hold on.
Definitely know. Yeah, definitely know.
Yeah, actually, somebody invite that man to the show if he could come up, because this would be a good topic for him too, if possible.
Yo, what's good? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. Lonzo Hall. Do you know the name of Ice Cube's basketball league? What's the name of that, bro? Oh
the
yeah,
Big
the Big Three. Yeah, the Big Three.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's called the Big Three?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, damn, but see that shit don't get advertised like a lot. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know like there was like he created like a league. And then Lady E says it's great to see the fellas up here laughing and speaking on positive topics. Whew. Lady E, you missed a big show earlier this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We was having a classic bro moment, like the good old days. And then, somebody tried to come up here and, ask some
Oh yeah, she know about that. She know about that. She sent me some messages about that. She was going in. Lady E, feel free to come up, Lady E. You know what it is. Salute also to my Brody. I see him in the chat. Kings and Dreams. What up, man?
And Dreams.
What's good, man?
Mm-hmm.
Look. I know, guys. For you guys who don't know, right? You know, for the newbies, right? You know, I just want to reintroduce DJ Eddie King. He is one of our founding members of Knowledge and Relationships.
Okay?
All this music that you guys listen to, that's all him. Okay, that's all DJ Eddie King. All right. So shout outs to him, man. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
I'm glad that, you know, you're doing well, but take it one step at a time, man.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here, man. I am truly happy to be here. Thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Salute to DJ Eddie King, man. Our music producer, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
made
sir.
all the intro and outro beats for every single last one of our shows.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So he definitely is the cornerstone for that. Also, man, I got to salute also B-Eazy, man. B-Eazy has done a lot of great work for us as well, man. Salute to M3, man, M3 too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a lot of the graphic work and the graphic art stuff, man, that we have done. You know what I mean? And Big Rig too. You know what I mean? So those brothers together, man, us as collective, man, they have made some incredible intros and outros, man. From organically. We ain't take nobody image or no celebrity or nothing like that. This is all organic stuff that we created here, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So yeah, man. It's a little to me too. I'm not too bad myself.
Let's look at Mr. Best.
Man. I'm okay. I'm all right. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Let me give the props to Mr. Best real quick, right? Because Mr. Best, right? You don't know, all right? Don't take him for granted. This guy is like the ultimate secret weapon, okay?
Yes,
when it comes to networking and building people together.
Yes,
all right. So
actually, that's a fact.
But he brings people together no matter
Thank
what.
you, Alonzo.
Yes.
Yeah. Salute, Alonzo, man. You know, and don't underestimate this guy, man. This guy will teach you the ways of finance, IULs, all that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Learn about investment.
The whole package. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big facts. I actually wanted to hop up because I saw the topic real quick. And actually, Mr. Best literally just showed a perfect example of what it needs to be in terms of not even just the rich black class, but to become the rich black class. That's one of the things we need. Another thing that we need to do is practice nepotism, which we tend not to do a lot. Right? One video I saw in that was from Marlon Wayne. And he was like, you know, his brother came through and was like, yo, you know, I'm gonna go to the club tonight. I want you to watch this movie and tell me how it could be bigger. And then he come back and it got bigger. And every one of the family members who got on put on another one of the family members. And we don't seem to do that a lot in our community.
Right.
Which is how I think, not just, like I said, not just rich black people or the rich black class, but to actually create a business class of blacks. That's what we need to do, right? But supporting black business ain't just buying a scarf off of one nigga's Etsy page, which is really how we end up doing it, right? Oh, I'm gonna buy this bitch's pink sauce. I'm gonna buy this nigga's scarves off Etsy. Yeah, all right, that's cool, but that is not starting a said business, right? Use a black financial advisor, use a black real estate agent, use a black attorney, use a black CPA, use a black doctor, you know what I'm saying? Use a black chiropractor, you know what I'm saying? Shit, if you could be picky, sometimes use a black motherfucker for your Uber ride, right? That's how you, listen, man, the dollar circulates in our community for 8 hours. Part of that is because of the lack of businesses. Everybody's fucking LLC is a chicken spot, a hair salon, or a clothing line, or maybe a record label. But we don't seem to dominate any other industries. We need to stop that. I'm nigga, your mama's mac and cheese and my wife's mac and cheese tastes exactly the fucking same. We don't need 14 restaurants with that shit, bro. We need like some other industries. That's all. But I'll pause there. I just wanted to get that laugh. I'm gonna spark my jet.
No doubt. Definitely. Lady E, if you don't come up here, I don't know what we're gonna do with you, girl. You better come on up here. You better get on up here.
I'm gonna go kidnap her from the cloud.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you gonna get you, lady. You gotta come on up. Lola, I understand, like, you know, you want to leave this for the men because you support black men, but Lady E, okay, this is for everyone. So if I see some women come up, you are required. It is mandatory, highly mandatory, and it's also mandatory for you to come up too, so we can see the dimples of yours. But besides that, it is mandatory for you to come up. So come on down, Lady E. All right, we need some femininity also in this panel as well too.
I also like to hear my man Kings and Dreams too. Kings and Dreams, anybody, man, Big Ray, Marcus, anybody. Let us know, are rich black people responsible for the black community? Let us know, man. We want y'all.
We really want to know
for real.
We really want to know.
So what sparked this convo?
Yes.
Mr. Best started the topic. He came up with a great topic tonight.
A really good one too.
Yeah.
And shout out to people in the Rumble. So yeah.
Shout out to
Right.
Rumble.
I mean, I don't think that they're responsible for it. I am 1, a supremacist, 2, a nationalist, and 3, a capitalist. So it's very difficult for me to say that anyone is responsible for me. For example, this is why I don't believe in white supremacy, because a true supremacist wants his opponents at their apex best and or with an advantage against him. So when he dominates them, and dominates him, as the black man does in many endeavors that we go into, he can show his true supremacy or superiority. That's why I say I'm a supremacist. 2, I'm a nationalist because America, fuck yeah, right? And 3, I'm a capitalist because America, fuck yeah, right? So that's kind of, you know, the ways of America, right? As much bullshit as this country has, I wouldn't have it any other way. As a black man, shit on earth, to be honest, it's the American way, right? We have the rights and the abilities to say shit about the government and not get our heads chopped off. We don't have to walk around wearing a bowl cut like we're in North Korea, otherwise facing 2 years of jail time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. You can have parades, waves of ball, you trademarks the army. You know what I mean? So that shit's real. I'm just weed talking right now, y'all. So feel free to stop me anytime.
That's my brother right there, for real.
Word, son. Shit good. And then got a little promotion at the job. I'm officially a managing associate. So,
man, congratulations, brother, for real. Salute. Congrats, baby.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
No doubt. It ain't really much, just more responsibility, but it comes with an override. So if the niggas that work with me on my team start making bread, I start making bread. So, you know, I'm trying to get them niggas to make thousands of dollars. Every $1,000 they make, I make $100. So I'm like, yo, I need you to make about $10,000 this week.
Get that paper, man.
Word. I'm beyond niggas, son. Yo, son, what you need, son? I ain't got to worry about someone no more. I'm going to just get y'all to do it.
Yeah. You know what, Alonso, Hall, if you don't mind just stick around like a little bit longer, you could probably chime in some of these topic points and solutions as well, too. Because I got to put up right here, my brother, you know?
Yeah.
Hope you like the style of this format, but I might do this a little bit more often now. Shout out to StreamYard for adding custom layouts. But here's some topic points and some solutions, people. Now remember, I know y'all hate solutions. Everybody hates when empty comes along and gives you the straight point solution base. Because I know everybody want to talk about the same old rhetoric about this stupid ass gender war. Let's go ahead and bounce round 65, right? But no, I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I gotta put an end to it and give you guys the solutions so that way I can hold you guys accountable, hold myself accountable, and that way we can move on with life, right? Anyways, topic points and solutions. Number 1.
Yo, hold on.
Oh,
Yo,
put it. Hold on.
Yo, that beat right there, that shit is serious. Yo, turn that shit up a little bit.
It hit at the right time, right?
Check it out.
Oh, shoot, that's a real beat. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, this is perfect. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah, that shit did hit at the right time, man.
Yeah.
What you using, Roots?
He kind of slid that in there a little bit, you know? Look, if I'm hyped right now, it's because of DJ Eddie King, man. His beats, man. And we got the brothers up in here, though. We're still waiting for the sisters to come up as well, too. You know? That's all good. So, and here's the thing. I know it says wealthy black individuals, but look, you could be wealthy in spirit, but let's go ahead. The role of successful individuals, mentorship. Wealthy black individuals can often offer guidance and serve as a role model for younger generations. Collaboration, create platforms for research, sharing, and joint initiatives to uplift the black community. What do you guys think about number one?
So, all right. So we ain't all gonna go at once. I'll go. So I mean, I think it's a good idea, right? The difficulty is this in terms of like collaboration and creation things. That gets difficult in terms of the push, right? For example, we look at collaboration and creation and the push that we got for Magic Johnson purchasing the LA Dodgers, right? For $7 billion. We didn't know though that Magic Johnson Enterprises became majority shareholder of an insurance company called Equitrust Financial for $13.1 billion. So for almost double the price of the Dodger, right? Yeah. But you don't even know about that. And that's just to buy a little more than half of the company.
13.
You see? Mm-hmm. Damn. 13 billion.
I never knew Magic Johnson even had that type of money. Damn.
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, man, what these people have. That's why you don't really see them like that, you know? Making money.
The outreach and the push just don't get there because this is a black-owned financial firm, just like Ariel Investments or I think it's Harlem Capital, right? These are black-owned equity investment firms that we should be putting our money in. That, yes, I think if they were heavier of a push to mentor and come into the black community would be good. Like in terms of collaboration, right? We have Ariel Investments who, or may have not known that for the past 20 years, the company Charles Schwab has had a very heavy push in the African American community. Do you know why that is? Because they were partnered with by Ariel Investments to get a heavier push in the African American community. Likely because Charles Schwab had a name and black folks is very big on, what company you work for? Well, if I ain't never heard of the company, it must not be no good. Yet most of us have a 401k with a majority of the money sitting in a 2035 fund, or if we're in the 40 age range, a 2045 fund. And a lot of those funds are with fucking PIMCO. Nobody's heard of PIMCO, but PIMCO is the largest mutual fund in the world. So I think in terms of collaboration, they can push more to get their name out there, or their, hey, Adrian, what's going on? They can push more to get their name out there. Black folks dominate when it comes to shit like owning insurance agencies and owning real estate agencies, yet we don't really have financial education down pat. I know a bunch of folk who teach in financial education and got $500,000 in life insurance, yet they're talking about generational wealth. If you go to Google, Google says a generation is 20 years. If you go to Google and say how much is 1 year of an average American's income, is $50,000. If you go to Google and type in 50,000 times 20, you get $1 million. So how are you teaching financial literacy with 5 kids? You got less than one generation of generational wealth. So all this collaboration needs to be brought together, because there's shit I don't know that you know that we can come together and teach everyone, so that we don't, you know what I'm saying, fall on build a house on quicksand.
Okay, pause real quick, Alonzo, because you definitely hit the nail on the coffin on this one. This is something like what Mr. Best said like earlier when he was giving like the shout outs. Knowledge and relationships, an example, wouldn't be knowledge and relationships if it's not for the individuals that help make the channel. Yes, although, okay, each and every person could personalize their own like YouTube channel to their own custom fitting, but how often when a person is doing the work on his own, on his or her own, and you're doing less collaboration with other people? And matter of fact, to even add on to it, if you don't even have people that's working with you or willing to work with you, how many eyes will be on one person that has to do everything? You got a network, okay? Like Mr. Best, if you think about trying to have some like non-repetitive music, you gotta have music makers like DJ Eddie King. And if you don't have good friends like him, hell, you're gonna be paying like lots of money to try to get some new instrumentals.
It's a lot of work.
For people like me, you gotta learn about like the graphic arts design, because you gotta make so many thumbnails, and it's a lot. So you gotta learn how to make it in an expedited time, And don't forget about the suitable helpers, which is pretty much the women in our lives that really, bring the eyes like to the platform and also share their thoughts as well too. And people like you, Alonzo, right, who's teaching us, the insights of what's going on, what does it mean to like really network and understand financial literacy, because not a lot of us are financially educated. So I just want to say thank you for pinpointing that idea, that thought.
Yeah.
Now, number 2 is addressing, let me put this up again, addressing systematic racism, okay? Advocacy, use influence to challenge racial discrimination and promote policy changes. Education, fund programs that teach about systematic racism and its effects on the Black community. Oh, hold on for a second. I gotta get the door. But you guys continue, okay?
Someone's at the door. Oh,
yep.
Money calls.
Someone is at the door. Peace,
man.
Yes, let me go to the comments and see what's going on here.
All right. While you're doing that, I think in terms of using influence for advocacy and stuff, that's kind of difficult. I think the world has turned to more covert racism as opposed to overt racism. So, you're either going to have to be overt with it and do as other communities do and be like, this is literally for African Americans, we're excluding everybody else, because just like they do at the yeshivas in New York, just like they do at the private schools in Chinatown, and all the mother.
Salute to DJ Witch Doctor, man. Peace, family.
All right, what's good, DJ Witch Doctor?
Right. Oh, we have Mr. Best. Mr. Best, you there? We got somebody in the back.
All right.
M3.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
They both wanted to make a sandwich.
Pacific Coast
That's it.
What's up, DJ Eddie?
Hey, Mr. Stan, the man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. What's up, Lonzo Hall?
What's going on, bro?
Not much. Hey, if you see this, because I'm on my tablet. This is my screen yard for my tablet.
Okay. I see it, man.
All right. Oh yeah. So what's up, guys? I've been listening to the show. I love it. Alonzo Hall, I love what you're saying. Sorry about that. I got an accent. I love what you're saying. Right. That's great. DJ Eddie, I love what you said. And you know what? What people gonna do with the money if the rich people give it to them? They gonna buy new sneakers or more rims for their cars? That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, let's keep it 100. Like, come on, man. Like, rich people should not be giving other people money just because they got it. It's
not. That's not what I'm really saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, it's okay. What do you mean?
I mean, like, as far as like programs and basically what you see a rich black man and he may spend some money on programs just to show you the way how he got it or whatever. I'm just saying, like, programs that help the community, basically. A lot of times you don't really have to go to school for it, but they do have programs. I'm not saying like spend money on rims and cars and stuff like that. No.
But if we give them money, I'm thinking more like the mindset, like who we giving money to and for. Because unless the mindset change, us throwing money at people doesn't work. That's why I'm just seeing it. One. Two, I agree with you with the rich people because millionaires is nothing. Millionaires now is like the new paupers. There's more billionaires. And we got all these billionaires, and I'm going to say this about the billionaires. It's like we got all these billionaires around the world, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't have one Batman or Tony Stark. You guys are pathetic. All that money and no justice. Pathetic.
It's because we don't have trillionaires yet.
Shout out to Marcus, man. Marcus, come on up, man. Come on up, Marcus. Get up here, man.
But look,
give us some.
Here's the thing about black wealth and black communities. Like, we already have a black rich class, but I think like we repeat history without honoring history, right? There was a Jack and Jill Club. I don't know if they're still around. But Jack and Jill was around because those rich black people, their kids weren't allowed to play with other kids because they were black. So we had to play with them kids. And not only but the thing about it, playing with their kids, was that we got exposed to a lot of cultural stuff like ballet, debutante balls, dinners, going to like understand about how communities are built, jobs, black college tours. There was a lot of benefits in going to Jack and Jill Club. I think now we gotta look at like, man, like if you really want to be rich and black, you do have to change your mindset. And a lot of times, guess what? You do have to leave that hood mindset away. It doesn't make you less hood or whatever, but you do have to grow another set of skills. And we gotta honor that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
And here's another thing too. Rich people, they give money to organizations or charities because they get a tax write-off. We have to look at these charities and say where the money's going at and ask the question and not be afraid of it. Like, hey, are you really helping people in the community? What are you doing in the community for the state of California not to tax you guys? And you promised to help the state of California. But yet when the schools were shut down because we were in the, during the plague times, none of the kids have access to Wi-Fi or computers or like laptops. And you guys, the biggest tech firms here. So, where the money going at? You're charging us for plastic bags. Every time we go shopping, you can't go in with the used plastic bags because it might carry the virus or whatever. So we have to buy new plastic bags, which costs us 10 cents. Those things add up. And then you tax us for sodas. Okay, where that money going at? So, like there's other stuff, like instead of looking at rich people, then we got to look at the system. Like even our lottery tickets. hardly anybody from California win. Could we spread it out to the whole United States? Okay, that money was supposed to help schools. Where the money at?
What's up, Queen? Cheer.
Queen.
Hey, Queen.
Queen,
Yo,
what up?
Eddie, your laughter, man, I missed it. Hey, M3, I see you ain't go to the prom tonight.
Lord, Queen. Why, Queen? Why?
Well, what's up?
Damn.
Salute to Queen. How you doing?
I'm good. M3, you gonna ignore me tonight? So
No, I gotta take this phone call.
okay, take that phone call. Go on, take that phone call. Don't crash though, because you look like you're driving the Uber. But we're not gonna go
Oh
there.
my God.
Lord, Queen is capping tonight. She's on fire. M3, what did you do to earn that?
It looked like you driving an Uber.
Look, the only thing I did was just being present as a young, responsible black man. All right, well dressed and well up.
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm late with the guns blazing, baby. What? No,
yeah, you're an hour late, but I'll probably give you half
okay,
pay.
don't worry about that. So it don't matter.
Half the pay is probably what you
I gotta
deserve.
shut the party down, baby. That's how I do.
Well, Queen,
How you doing, Lonzo? How you doing?
I'm alright.
Well, Queen, since you're here, Lady E, you should come up now, right?
What happened to ladies? Oh.
So,
okay.
Queen, right? You could probably answer number 3 for me, right? So, the topic is: are rich black people responsible for the black community? But, however, we're on these topic points, right? That will probably help provide some type of solution if the rich and the poor black people actually still come together to be united as one whole without the separation of class. We're on number 3 right now, where it's talking about economic empowerment, where entrepreneurship, support black-owned businesses, and provide mentorship for budding entrepreneurs. The other one point is investment in community infrastructure and projects that create long-term economical growth. What you think about that, Queen?
I think you do owe it to the black community. But that's the way I think. When you look at other communities, they believe in supporting and building up their communities. They believe in teaching and having mentorship, So, and that's why their communities thrive and the people in their communities thrive, even in their families, So, yeah, I think I don't think it's it shouldn't be thought of as you owe. I think it should be that you want to see other black people strive and do better. Because I think when people hear, oh, you owe it to your community, they, I don't know. I think people just get offended by that word. But, I just think we should want to see other black people do well, and, you're saying that they're not educated, so if you have the tools, why not go back and educate? Why not go back and support? Why not, So I think of, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a black community or it was a black focus giving back, but Jeffrey something, I forgot his last name, but he started the Harlem Children's Zone. And what he did was he just saw young kids falling behind in school. So he started a tutoring program, a free tutoring program. And now he runs Harlem Children's Zone. He started Harlem Children's Zone, and they have over hundreds of programs and stuff that they do for the community. So you know, he just saw an issue, and him and some other people got together and started tutoring people. And now they, you know, Obama talked about his nonprofit, and other nonprofits he was looked at as one to meet with and get the blueprint of how he did it, or just different support of how well he's doing and how did he do it. So yeah, I think we do. We should want to. We should want to give back. We should want to mentor, you know. I love Mr. Best in the World saying, you know, you may not, I'm not quoting him correctly, so I'm gonna go back and find it. But you know, you may ignore that young person, but guess what? When that young person roll up on you, because now they hungry, now you wish you would have supported them and given them an opportunity to do better. So you know, a lot of us think we're so far away from it that it's not going to come to our door, and that's not true. Desperation has no boundaries. When people are desperate, they do desperate things, and anybody can get it. So
yeah.
Shouts to ladies.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank
you. But she says, I have to agree with Queen on this. I'm older and help as much as I can. Scammers have hurt my funds, but I still try.
Salute the Lady Phoenix. Salute the Lady Sophia, Marcus, all that. We see y'all.
Yes, are never forgotten in our hearts, in our books. You know what I mean? So thank you. Salute as always.
I mean, just think of like the school that you went to, right? I mean, everyone, just think of the school, the elementary school you went to. Now, how much would it have impacted you if somebody who was successful didn't need to necessarily be someone you see, a star or whatever else, but, you know, came back to the community and, you know, helped with the music program, or helped with, like Mr. Best said, taking the kids to outside of the community to see a play or a museum. How much would that have impacted you to see that there are other options out there besides what you see in your community? And I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these kids in these communities, that's all they know. You know, so we gotta do better. We really do. We do. And it's disheartening how much of an impact we can make, but we're too selfish or even scared to make it. Because like Sophia said, some people don't want to be scammed, or they don't want to be, you know, and then a lot of times we're not given the same open arms to start things in our community. Like if someone who's non-Black want to start a community garden in your community, they can start that community garden. But if you want to start a community garden, you're fought, you're why, or you got to get this, you got to get that. But somebody else can come in your community, open up a store, no questions asked, a liquor store, you know. So, but when it comes to us, we're not given that same opportunity, you know. And I do appreciate growing up the different stores, the different ethnic groups that were in my neighborhood. I felt like they gave to all the kids. Like, you know, they didn't just go, oh, you're not Spanish, get out of here. Like, they knew, if they knew my family, they were like, oh yeah, how's mom? Oh yeah, take this home to mom. Like the meat market, whatever it was. Like I felt like they really, you know, they really took care of us, you know. But that's not like it, you know. We just gotta do better. When you look at these other
even the drug dealers, the guys who, instead of for, you know, hood credit or street credit, gave out turkeys to the hood, to women and children and men in the hood who were probably on welfare, so they probably had food stamps, so they could get a turkey that's not out of their own pocket. What if instead of that, these people gave money to the schools. And Mr. Best is gonna flip out over this, but like, what if people like Fabulous, who owns Brevoid Projects, actually put money into it and let it instead of letting it be a cesspool ran by Nightshot? How many of y'all knew Fabulous owns or part owns the projects that he's from? Brevoid Projects. Look
That's
at the
crazy.
conditions of them Nightshot houses.
That's crazy.
And salute to Fab and the Street family. That's really family, for real. I mean, boy.
Where you need to talk to Cuz.
You know what I mean? Hey, I can do what I can. You know what I mean? My reach is long.
Listen, bro.
It's some reach that I can't reach to. You know what I mean? But I can do my best, and that's why I try to do what I can.
I'm a Bainbridge boy, so you know what I'm about, nigga. I'm from the same block as Papoose and Mano, cuz. Like, we right there.
I know Bainbridge. I got family over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, salute to the Bainbridge crew, man. Salute. You don't have to. It's all right. You from Queens. It's good. We love you. You know what I mean? But salute to the Bainbridge crew. Yeah, salute to the Bainbridge crew, man. Salute to my family over there. They know what it is, man. But salute to Street family, man. And hopefully Fab is making waves and making things better, man. Hopefully he is. And I hope that he is going to do that, man. I really do have faith that our people do the right thing, man. And hopefully he will. You know what I'm saying? I know the projects are a big thing in New York, man. That definitely has to be improved, man. Like the elevators with the piss in the hall and, you know, the rats and the garbage and all that. Nah, man, like it's got to change, man. Those people deserve humane conditions, not inhumane. Either man,
it ain't like it's easy to do though, because you got to realize there's thousands of people, and it's not like niggas got somewhere to go while he goes and fixes it. So I get it, right? Because I used to do fix and flip, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying, these niggas got to get all the way out the building so I can knock it down and build it back up. But I ain't got the money to pay for you to be somewhere all the way out the building for however long it is and build up the building while not getting rent from you. And then, I mean, Nightshade definitely has the money to do that at this point, but, you know, they don't want to spend that money. So, what can I say? I love gentrification. Gentrification has nothing to do with white people moving into black neighborhoods, because I can ask the 6 of us on this panel right now, and I bet for the vast majority the answer will be yes. Do you like the little coffee shops and wine shops in your neighborhood?
Hell yeah.
All right, you niggas are part of gentrification. See? Because we also provide gentrification in the fact that we change the temperature of the neighborhood, right? It's certain shit in the old neighborhood that I came up in that's going on, so I don't go the fuck over there. Fuck that and fuck them niggas. They still standing in front of the same corner store that has changed names because now Habib's son owns it, and he wanted to change the LLC from Habib and Sons to Habib's Son and Sons. So that's what happened there. So we ain't dealing with that. We doing other shit. So we gentrified too. That's what I feel about gentrification.
That's a fact though. Like even going back to like the communities, like you know, Best on Bainbridge, even where I'm from, Tudorville, Brownsville, like, you know what I mean? Certain areas you just don't want to be around because they're not progressive. They're not trying to progress, and the people there are not trying to progress. So it's only but so much that the other people could come in and do something about. So let's say somebody wealthy does come there and try to clean things up. The people there probably may even tear it down and make it worse. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got to also understand that. You know what I mean? So it's not like people can't try to do things, but if they try to do things to fix up some of these neighborhoods, they'll still come through and tear it down. You know what I mean? So that's a factor too. So we got to also see that as well.
But it's
hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you're talking. Go ahead, Queen.
I was going to say it's not just a fact about cleaning up the neighborhood or whatever else. You know, there are people who want to be a certain way in every culture. We all know this, right? But at the end of the day, there are a lot who feel like there's no way out. You know what I mean? Like if you go get that job, you know, you make too much, but you don't make enough to live off of. So you have to choose what's best for your family. You know what I mean? So it's not that simple. And I feel like, to me, the kids are, you know, the kids are my heart. So I don't feel like the kids have a choice. And it's unfortunate because we decide, oh, I don't want to deal with the adults because they effed up. But then there's kids who are staying in those situations, and they will grow up and they will become once again a nuisance in the society because they didn't have a chance. I was watching this show. It's called Next in Fashion. It's a fashion show about fashion designers. And there's a young guy on there named Nigel. He looks like he's mixed, and his parents broke up, and they asked a little bit how they got into fashion. And this young man said, you know, my mom was a single mom, but, you know, I started going the wrong way. I started doing crazy stuff, getting into the wrong thing. So she called my dad, and he came and got me, and I lived with my dad. So the dad was like, yeah, from the moment he was around me, I saw that he had a passion for this. Now he's doing amazing things, doing streetwear designs, and he makes his own fabric. He refurbishes old stuff, makes it new. He has a very 70s vibe, but, you know, like this was someone who, you know, got out of the bad situation he was in. Fortunately, he was able to have both parents in his life, and he was able to move out of that and look. And he's now, instead of going down that road that he could have went down, he was given an opportunity to go down a different road. That's all I'm saying. Some of these kids, they need opportunities. Some of these adults need opportunities. But when you don't have the opportunities and you're always behind the 8 ball, you know, you rob Peter to pay Paul, then, you know, I do feel like a lot of times we can't look down on it if we're not going to be willing to do something about it. Don't nobody owe anybody anything, but it's just the heart to want to give.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. I didn't say no one owed anything, but why wouldn't you want to see Black people thrive? You can't say
no, Queen. Some people do owe. Some people do owe. Some people do owe.
According to other people, nobody owes anybody anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But just look at it, you know, like even like I said before, the dancing school I went to as a kid was in the hood. It was in next to one of the worst projects in Queens. But guess what? There were some mega stars there. Debbie Allen came there. Ben Vereen, Michael Peters, all these people I took dance classes from, but it was in the middle of the hood. They didn't fear. They didn't fear. They came and they gave back. They taught us. So when we walk in, you know, kids, you know, who necessarily lived in those projects, they came and they was like, oh my gosh, we're talking. I can't believe I met so-and-so. He dances with Michael Jackson. He teaches I mean, could you imagine if some of those kids did amazing things? Like they're doing big things in the community, like as far as the dance world, you know, they were in movies, all kind of stuff, and they dance with big wigs. But could you imagine if they were never given that opportunity?
And that's the main point. Before I even chime into it, right, I do have to give Stan the opportunity to talk real quick, and then I'll give you my little reply to it. Go ahead, Stan.
Yo, Queen, that was a good segue because it used to be amongst people in neighborhoods, you don't touch the people that's supporting the community. When somebody came to the schools, you don't touch their cars. You don't touch them because they're helping out the community, because kids were off limit. You just didn't touch anything that was supporting for the kids. You just don't do it. I don't know like how we got away from that, but sometimes, you know, we do have to get back to that. So it's not so much like we have to include people that's on the streets because there used to be an ethics, a little code. And we have to have that code back because, yeah, you might be doing dirt, but the goal was not to go ahead and make sure that everybody does dirt. You got to give kids a fighting chance. If they're going to be a football player, or a basketball player, or artist, or tech whiz, the goal is to never touch them. Let them go to school, send them back to school if you see them outside being truant. There used to be a code to this in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
This, and this requires everybody to get together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Stan.
No problem.
Yeah, Queen. I like the way how you broke everything down because one of the main key points is that no one's obligated. However, you should. I mean, I will hope that someone actually have a heart to actually give if you have a substantial amount of resources and opportunities. One of the most biggest things that really impact in the lives of children is not about a person's wallet. It's about the time that you give for those kids. The greatest moments are usually the times when they need you most just to be like the guardian for the day. Maybe mom and dad are not around to kind of give some guidance. Maybe mom and dad are just too busy to investigate or to talk or to be able to relate to a child's needs. But probably you at that moment, pivotal moment of time, you was right there just to pretty much show some love for that kid. And because you took your time to show love for those children, they remember that type of stuff growing up. Shout outs to B-Eazy Dat Dude because I know like he talks about have a mentorship program where he teaches kids like I think computer science or something. So I remember he was talking about that in one of the live streams. So shout outs to that brother if he's in the chat, Lady Phoenix, yes. She says we gotta stop stealing, looting. When Walmart is packing up and going to Portland, Oregon, and Katy, suburb of Houston, you just gotta stop stealing, man. And here's the thing, right? It reminds me of a Walmart that we once had in Oakland by Hagenberger. It was an okay Walmart when I was like living there, but living close by there, but it was convenient. So, but too many people was going in, they was stealing, they was coming in and out, and there was nothing they could do but to shut the Walmart down. Now, if you had to go to Walmart in Oakland, you had to drive further out to like San Leandro. And who knows, that Walmart might close soon.
M3, don't forget, they were doing more than just stealing. They were hijacking when they're getting deliveries. Stuff was planned. That was major. When they shut that Walmart down, they basically shut down the whole community and the plans within that community. Like people didn't know the impact of that Walmart. That Walmart is now a food desert. So you have to drive all the way to Davis. You have to drive all the way to San Leandro. It's like the people who came there and just hijack. And also I'll blame this also on the police because when people were going to the airport, another thing too about that Walmart, it was right by the airport. So people got their cars broken into and the cops were nowhere to be found. They wanted to do no reports. They didn't want to help out. And the mayor that we had at the time, I have to say it, she was lazy. She didn't make it a priority. And that just combined all, and that's to just show the stuff we were talking about. Like everybody have their piece, their part to play, and when you don't play that part, look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like East Oakland has a food desert. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that to eat a man, no one's guilting anyone who's financially stable or rich or well off into giving back to the community. It's a choice. But best believe other cultures, they build their community and you better not go nowhere near it. Mm-hmm. And they give back. So why can't we have the same mindset? And that's the problem. And yes, our community, our culture is at war with each other, but there are a lot of people who want to do better, just need an opportunity, you know? So everyone gets an opportunity. So, you know.
That's well said. You know, I mean, look, less is more, right? So, Queen left the building. She'll be back. So, let me get the rest of the book posts. I think I got like 10 of them or 8. So, we talked about number 3. So, educational opportunities. Scholarships. Offer scholarships for underprivileged students to access quality education, which is tutoring, sponsor-free tutoring programs to close achievement gaps in Black communities. Health and well-being. Correct that? Oh, can't correct that. Okay, health and well-being. Okay, which involves like in healthcare, fund initiatives that improve healthcare access. Access and address health disparities. Mental health. Support mental health programs and create safe spaces for the Black community. Now, keep in mind, this is something that maybe people with money that could do this, but however, right, even in the midst of these talking points that our community has expectations or hopes for what rich people can do, we could literally do that ourselves when we combine our own resources and our own incomes together. That's the main point of it. If you want to be rich together, okay? Because together, you could fund your money into those communities to help build. That is something that I feel like people don't understand. We look for individuals to come save us, but together as a community, we could build. Which maybe that's why some of the rich people feel like they're not obligated to give anything, because maybe they're not seeing the community themselves giving out for our own people. That could also be another thing, you know?
Yeah, it be seeming like a lot of handouts. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll give a personal real world example. Someone I know had gotten arrested. Now, prior to, the big joke was, we all thought you were broke. But suddenly when they needed $20,000, I'm the person they call. But the big joke is I'm supposed to be the broke guy. If you are in a crunch and need to call somebody for $20,000, it's not going to be the guy who you joke is broke. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So little stuff like that will make you be like, you know what? Man, screw these folks. I ain't gonna, because they only gonna come to me as a last resort when it's a get out of jail free card. Literally. So, you know, sometimes you can have that resentment. Or, like Queen was saying earlier, not only do people have to, you know, when you get successful, you know, have that outreach, but like you said, the investment into the business, right? Because what will happen a lot is, you know, like you said, somebody from another community could come in and get their stuff, and then somebody from ours could come in and it's a fight.
Mm-hmm. Very true, you know?
Hey, can I go, can I talk about number 4 and 5?
Yeah, sure.
Can you go back to number 4 real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Educational opportunity.
Yeah, I have something to say about the scholarship. I had issues with that. I saw like one program that worked well and another program that had good intent. The program that had good intent, they were sending people out to HBCUs or universities out of state. It didn't work out well for that person because they didn't have support once they got to a town they know nothing about. And a lot of time they return back.
That makes sense.
Right? And when they returned back, it was like kind of frowned upon and then they had to go to a community college, and it was like they felt like they lost out and then didn't want to go back to school no more. Some of them just went ahead and that was it. The other one that worked well was that you stayed on, like wherever you lived, that's the school you went to, and you had support. And I benefited from that program, and so did my sister. And that was a better fit because no matter what happened, I knew where to get like the tutoring and what other resources I could gather when they came to school. So I wasn't there for a scholarship, but definitely like the opportunities. And they also helped me out with my financial aid and how to fill out the forms. So that was a good experience. So a lot of times when people do the educational stuff, I want them to look at that. So if you're sending students out of state, make sure that you give them a support system they can fall back on wherever state that you send them to, because sending them blind doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, they either go crazy or wild, or they, like you said, lack support and have to go home.
Yeah, because now you're dealing with and also another community that you know nothing about, so they don't like you. They're looking at you like you're the enemy, and it doesn't have to be that way, but you have no friends, no allies to break you in or how to maneuver in the neighborhood. So a lot of people came back from there with a bad experience, and some people I knew they'll never go to Georgia or Alabama, or I was like, put no cities. So I want nobody to think I'm against cities or anything like that. I'm from the South. But, people have bad experiences. They'll never leave the Bay Area again because of that. Health and well-being, man, thank God for Native American Dental in San Francisco and La Clinica. Like, those two was like big, and also the Haight-Ashbury Free Clinic. Those three institutions were huge. Because, San Francisco, we don't have like a real big Black population. But because we had donors that gave in, like Danny Glover and other Bay Area people that were famous and made money and gave back to the community, they really emphasized on helping people of color. So you learn like how to talk to a doctor, you learn what to ask, you learn what like the different options of healthcare. So a lot of times we shouldn't we get told about it's going to take 10 years to build this for our community. Maybe we need to take what's already in the community and expand that without rebuilding it. So I want to leave that for health.
Hey, very well said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was saying, very well said, Stan. He said, become chairmen. All right.
Yeah,
I like it.
Become chairman and bring donors. Like, trust me, like nonprofit is no joke. Everybody think like nonprofit is like feeding birds and passing out sandwiches. Nonprofit is big business. Because there's a lot of rich people that need tax write-offs. And let me tell you something. Yeah, let me tell you something. One organization I worked for, I was responsible for the speech I gave. I raised nearly $2 million for a building, just from one speech I gave, based on my experience and what I learned from working in an organization and also my past, and what was the need. And we raised $10 million easy. And guess where it was at? Napa. And wow. And also I learned also from Napa, man, the houses in Napa, it paid for itself. Like when you go out and you hang out with rich people, they have no problem telling you how they make their money.
Yeah.
Because everybody think Napa is just grapes. It's not, man. Like Napa, like the house paid for itself. Like they build olive trees, all that for cosmetics, chicken poop, all that for you'll be amazed how much money they make from that. Like the house itself, everybody like, oh my God, it's beautiful. I gotta have one. Nah, the house itself pays for it and pays the owners. So the whole house generates wealth. And you learn that when you go to these functions and you meet all these rich people, you find out, oh my God, there's so much ways to make money, that I didn't know.
Yeah. One day, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that one of the organizations I worked for, when I worked with youth, transitional age youth, they would get like people to donate and stuff like that. And there was this, I don't even know who he was. It was just some billionaire that was like, hey, I want to incentivize young people going to school and meeting with their case manager. So every time they have a meeting, you meet with one of your clients, we take a picture, we upload it, and we, they're entered into a raffle. And it was like whoever got picked, they won. It was like five every like month or so. So once a month. And it was like, okay, you won. So what do you get? Whatever you want. One kid, he took his mom to the spa. One girl took her mom on a Mother's Day cruise brunch in a very well-to-do area, and there was no limit on the cap of the amount of money. If they took a picture of them in school, they, whatever you got, one, yeah. So I mean, and they were not Black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when they invest, they give back, but it's always us, like we fight it. We don't.
It's that pride, queen. It's that pride.
We don't want to give, and I don't understand why.
Because we think we're gonna get scammed. That's what we think. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We get the help, but now we don't help nobody.
Who don't look like he was gonna scam you either.
But
we trust certain people a lot more than we, and that's unfortunate because that's true. That's the cycle we built by what's happened to us and not fighting to be unified. We just allowed, it's just unfortunate that we're just at war with each other and we don't trust each other, but we'll go spend $500 in the non-Black beauty supply store. And then when the Black beauty supply store open, we always want a discount, but we don't ask the other people for discounts. And I don't understand.
And we downrate it too. And we're like, they were mean to us. And I'm like, they were mean at the other store.
They have that.
Yeah, we downplay like a lot of our own products.
And it's unfortunate. It's really sad.
Yeah. But hey, I want to talk to Alonzo real quick about nonprofits. So Alonzo probably could be more insightful on this. Philanthropy, like people don't understand. There's a lot of people who get, Alonzo, you could clear this up for me. Not grants. They're trustees to their trust or something like that. So it becomes tax free. And so imagine like your money is growing, but you also have a responsibility to giving away your money to organizations. And people don't understand like how big philanthropy is. It's a business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and folks don't understand. Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a couple of things you may be talking about there. One of the main things that you talk about, and like, I'm not religious. I'm not trying to push religion on anyone, nor am I trying to disrespect anyone's religion with the following statement. But I think that things like the Black church could benefit from things like a charitable remainder trust. But what it sounds like you're talking about is being the executor of an estate or a trust, where you have to spend the money. And folks will sneak in, some luxury Chanel bags in there for themselves too on these palatial estates. That's one of the major ways, ironically enough, that we do miss out on generational wealth because we don't create estates for ourselves. And then, things like nonprofits are huge ways to create, tax shelters, family trusts. But I think what Stan was talking about was, like an executor of an estate. Is that kind of what you're thinking about, Stan?
Yes, because people don't know, like, there's these people who have these philanthropy companies that's giving out money, and they themselves are like getting paid probably like $500 or $1 million a year tax free. because they work there.
Yeah, because they're assigned as the executor of the estate, or even, and this, ironically enough, is a good example to use, would be like Chadwick Boseman. People don't understand, even when you think you ain't got nothing and you die and you don't have a will and final testament. And yes, I sell life insurance, but getting life insurance ain't the end of the game. You must have a will and final testament, okay? And you cannot have what they call a robo-will, which is one that you've recorded yourself or written yourself and mailed to yourself. Some states will accept it, most states won't. So you really need to die with a will. Otherwise, you're what's called intestate. And then what happens there is the state is going to decide who gets your stuff. And because the state decides who gets your stuff, they also take a cut of your bread. Prime example, when Chadwick Boseman died, his wife got $1.1 million. His mom got $1.1 million. And the state got $1.5 million for deciding that his mom and his wife got $1.1 million. As opposed to him taking care of his shit up front, which is part of the responsibility of rich black people looking out for poor black people. Because we do have families, and for pennies on the dollar, you could leave shit, right? Lisa Marie Presley had a $35 million life insurance policy that she was about to cash out on to pay $4 million worth of credit card debt. But, you know, that's the type of shit that's passed down. So it's not just money, because sometimes people don't have the money, but they have knowledge. And you got to pass the knowledge down. But it's not just knowing, you have to do something with the shit. My fault.
No, that's well said. No, thank you. Thank you, man. Let me get to the last few points real quick, and then we're gonna pretty much wrap it up afterwards. Let me see. Let me do this real quick. Bring this back up. All right, so where we at? So let's see. So number 6 is criminal justice reform. Okay, which involves legal aid, providing funding and resources for legal representation, marginalized communities. You never know when some outsider will try to sue you for whatever. So get yourself a good, strong legal team. Advocacy supports efforts to reform the corrupt criminal system, which we do have in America, and end the massive incarceration. Number 7, media representation. Oh no, that's 10. Okay. Diverse narratives, promote positive and diverse stories of Black successful experience, funding, invest in Black-led media organizations to create more inclusive industry. Okay, philanthropy, which that's what you guys talked about. So,
wait, can we go with the number 7 real quick?
Hold on for a second.
Okay.
No, actually, let me read the rest and then we'll go back. Okay.
Okay.
So the philanthropy part is the target giving, which is donates to organizations working specifically on issues affecting the Black community, community-led initiatives, support grassroots programs that empower and uplift local communities. Number 9, strengthening family units, parenting programs, support initiatives that provide parenting resources, education, community centers, fund community centers that offer safe spaces and family-focused services. Last part is number 10, bridging the wealth gap. Financial literacy provide financial education to teach wealth-building strategies, generational wealth, which encourage the creation of generational wealth through investments and property ownership. Pretty much overall summary, wealthy Black individuals can contribute significantly to the upliftment of Black communities by using their resources and influence in various ways of addressing systematic racism and supporting economic empowerment, education, and criminal justice reform by fostering a sense of shared responsibility. Rich Black people can help create more equitable and prosperous future for all members in the Black community. However, I believe we as a community ourselves can be wealthy together when we put our resources and funds in together and not just rely on just one person who has more than
three. Pause real quick. Want to give a shout out to THPP Network. Shout out to them over there. Salute.
Oh, salute, everybody. Finally made it to the live. It says, okay. Hey, thank you for tuning in. If you guys would like to come up, I will definitely see you guys.
Definitely, salute. Definitely.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm all done. I just had to make sure I read everything through. Lady Phoenix says number 7 is cool. Indeed, Stan, I feel you. Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead and rock it out.
Yeah, number 7, man, I will say this. Big 3 could have outdo the NBA somehow, or ESPN, if we still had a BET and a TV1 that was Black owned. We sell out our media outlets way too quick. And our media outlets is owned by other communities, not owned by us. We don't own Essence. Ebony Magazine is dismantled. We really don't have a media outlet. YouTube, I mean, like, we subletting YouTube or we subletting Instagram and everything else. So we don't have anything our own. So anything that comes out afterwards, like, man, I wish we just don't sell it so quick. And also, if we're giving money to any other media outlet, if there's a way that we all could like be part owners, because if I'm donating money and I'm an investor, like there's ways, it got to be something so that we're actually involved in the whole process. Because it's our culture.
There are ways, as you said, as an investor, we talk about investing a lot, but, a lot of gurus don't even go further. If you are an investor, depending on the amount of shares you hold, you have decision-making power. You're actually supposed to be getting sent an annual letter from your company about, decisions about the CEO, the CFO, what direction the company is going to go. You're supposed to get quarterly and annual notes on these meetings if you're a shareholder. That's what it means when these companies talk about appeasing shareholders, right? It's not just about making money. It's about what decisions do you want the company to make. So what we have to do is, in terms of financial education, we need to know stuff like that. And again, I'm going to charge it in terms of wealthy Black people, as opposed to just doing stuff like this. A lot of it is nepotism. A lot of it is, like you were saying, Stan, we sell out too fast. Michael Jordan is selling the fucking Hornets. Why? That needs to be in his family forever. You don't see NBA teams changing hands normally, right? You don't. It stays in the family, right? The only reason that Donald Sterling sold the Clippers was because he got forced to. But do you think Steve Ballmer or the Ballmer family will be selling the Clippers no matter if they suck or not? No. So what we got to stop doing is flipping stuff. We got to start holding on to stuff for long periods of time. Because, now Michael Jordan got a bunch of money, but his kids ain't going to be able to make money off of his name. And they are going to need something to substantiate other than going to work for somebody else, right? And even then, wealth is lost in 2 generations. So if we just simply by doing nepotism and teaching our kids from 5 years old how to ring up on a cash register at our chicken spot, like we see the dudes at the corner store doing in Brooklyn, right? From 5 years old, then if 20 years later, we still going to the corner store for Lucy's on credit, but now we getting it from his son who was 16 5 years ago. Now he's 22 and owns the store. But we got to pass that shit down. That's how wealthy Black people can do it. Because not everybody is going to remain wealthy, but if they have the mindset, then they can kind of keep that shit there. I'll pause there.
Yeah, I got a question for you. I want us to keep this going because I want to like, what would it look like contractually moving forward? Let's say somebody want to have a black production company, right? For me now, I don't want to donate any more money to anybody's those GoFundMe funds. I'm like, no, make me a partner in this. If I donate money, I want to see money grow out of this. Like, how can we change that and make that work for us? Because we're like the biggest pusher for all media products. Anything out there that wherever we touch, we turn it to gold. How can we get that back to us?
Well, number one, as us, we got to stop this bullshit of thinking LLC saves the world, right? An LLC doesn't really save you from getting the corporate veil pierced. And it's a limited liability corporation. Realistically, you would prefer to have an LLP, a limited liability practice, right? Which means that you have professional credentials that can be taken away. But also things like the structure of the company. So most Black folks are coming out with Alonzo Hall's Indie Films LLC. Well, because of that, all I can do is create a GoFundMe and have you donate because of the structure and the tax structure of my corporation. However, if I wasn't just simply an S Corp, I could then have investors. And I can actually allow you to invest in my business and become a shareholder. And then I have to appease shareholders. And, that's a different structure. I have to get business valuation and stuff like that, which is hard to do as a startup, especially if you haven't been around for about 4 to 5 years to have at least 3 years of corporate tax refunds. But I digress. Did that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, 'cause I want us to get into that mindset because, we're looking at Black celebrities and wanting to give back to community. But like, how come we don't ask that from Nike? Because if it wasn't for us, there would be no Nike.
True that.
Adidas.
They got a whole damn movie on it right there with the Jordan joint.
And it wasn't, it wasn't for us as Black consumers, there wouldn't be any of these companies, these liquor bottle companies, none of that. We've made that. So we have to change our mindset because a lot of times I think, that's one thing, because I just want to make sure that we get more information on that. And then two, a lot of us, we need to know the different type of rich people that's out there. We hype up the trust fund kids, the party animals, and we think that's rich. I grew up in Miami. I've seen what rich looks like. And also in San Francisco, I've seen the other side of what rich is when you see like generations and everything else. It's completely different. What you do when you marry into a rich family, you're not going to take all that money and buy Prada bags. That doesn't happen. There's an allowance you have. There's also every month, depends on, the wealth of that family, you have to report what you spend. It can increase or decrease.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Records real quick. Salute to Sister President, Dr. Lisa, the Priesha, Tribe of Judah. Salute, sister. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Salute.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, so I'm like, for all of us who wants to, what we call, quote unquote, get the bag, we have to understand that when we get into the real rich and the wealth, we got to understand, there's a culture that's there. And I think a lot of times we don't think about that culture too much, or we're just being ignorant of the culture.
Oh, can I, real quick, not to cut you off. Speaking of, when we look at the rich, one thing that I hate, especially being a financial advisor, is, especially in the Black community, two things. One, we speak down on people who aren't bosses or self-made, and that's bullshit anyway, because everybody's got a boss. We also need to learn the difference between self-employed and being a business owner. I'll talk about that later. But you brought up something that I wanted to talk about the rich community, which is like, you say, they don't go buy a bunch of Prada bags, which they do, but yes, you do have an allowance and stuff like that. But also, when they buy Gucci, you don't know that it's Gucci, right? So one of the things I hate is I see like the picture circulating and I'll have the guy on the left with a big Gucci coat on and the guy on the right with just a sweater. That sweater is Gucci too, and it's probably 10 times as expensive as the Gucci label shirt that the guy has on. But there is a difference between being rich and looking rich. Being rich, you're also gonna look rich because the shit's not gonna look like it's super expensive, even though it is super expensive, and you're gonna be able to tell by the cut and the pattern and the stitching and shit like that, right?
Hold on, Lonzo. I'm gonna pause you for a second. Salute to Johnson, different. John, what up, man? Salute,
my brother.
I mean, John, if you could come up, man, come up. We talking that talk tonight, baby. Know what I mean, that black community talking. I know you talk that talk, so come up if you like, man, definitely.
So yeah, that was my fault, Stan. I wanted to pop that in there because rich folks wear Gucci too, but they just don't see the Gucci label.
Like there's a friend of my mentor I've met when I was in LA. It's like some little rich community outside of Santa Monica. Like, you know, you go to Southern California, there's all these little pockets of rich communities. He's a son of a sheik. So we're talking about 3 generations, right? Sheik, right? He do not go to stores. The stores come to him. There's a bus that comes to him, and they sell them electronics, they'll sell them on services, clothes, the whole thing they need. And they don't go to stores. Like, it's beneath them. They're like, why would I go shopping? Like, that's beneath them. They even consider like Beverly Hills poor. That's like middle class for them because they'll never go shop. The shopping, comes to them. And I'm like, wow.
So all they do is just sit at home and just order a bunch of stuff.
No, the store comes to them. It's like it's like a tour bus.
That's black card level shit.
So yeah, so they're at home and basically they're sitting at home and they got the store coming to them, right?
Oh
so
yeah.
They don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they have a shopper, so the shopper will bring all the okay, I know you bought this last time, but here's something similar or here's something brand new for you to look into.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't go to stores. I mean, there's like, when you talk about wealthy people, there's like, people don't know what's out there. They just don't know. So I always welcome people like, man, get to know wealthy people so that you understand like how that world operates. And also for the scammers or the possibility that you might have a little bit of a scanner gene inside of you, stop begging. Wealthy people are people too. They don't like people asking them for stuff all the time. They don't want to be used. They want to be treated like everybody else.
For sure, John. Stan, let me touch up on this part, right? Here's the thing. I honestly believe that wealthy people will literally, probably genuinely, would love to probably take their time, if they have, and actually give some knowledge to help educate you to get to a level where you could be at. But instead of people asking, politely for help, you have a lot of people that's demanding, a lot of expectations. And then here's the thing. Wealthy people are people, so there are also people like us that could also be afraid of people who are less fortunate that might come up there and try to rob them. That's one of the biggest things biggest reasons why wealthy people don't be around the poor people. It's not that they just look down on them, but there's a certain decorum where people who are less fortunate, they ask what they do when they're desperate. And instead of just trying to like really talk and express and actually be patient, because a lot of us are not really patient people like that. We see a wealthy person, we want to ask them a whole list of questions, like they're going to just answer us on the fly. Now you answer one person, probably like 10 or 15 questions, now you have another person ask you for more questions. It's mentally exhausting and it's draining for somebody with a bunch of resources to keep sharing individually. That's why they have classes, courses. And the reason why a lot of people will actually literally charge people for their time is because if you try to give the game that's free, people are not going to appreciate it. They don't appreciate it, and it will stick to it more because you know what? You spent your money to invest to pay for those courses. It's not like they just want to get your money and run and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
They just understand the concept and the value of their time, you know? And unfortunately, I don't blame some of them that don't want to be around with certain people, you know? Who won't want to have their hard-earned money or walk around to a place and then getting robbed? And then go around the next corner and then getting robbed, you know? They literally think that way about us. So, I feel bad for them. More bad than I feel bad for some of the people who are less fortunate. But at least you ain't got to worry about somebody trying to rob you. You ain't got nothing to give.
You say you feel more bad for wealthy people than you feel bad for people who don't have anything?
No, I said I feel more bad for the wealth. No. Oh, let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is I feel bad for the wealthy people just as I feel bad for the people who are less fortunate. But the only comparison that I will say is this. At least the less fortunate don't really have to worry about people robbing them from left and right or extorting them because they have nothing to give. But I do feel bad for, you know, for some, not all of them, but for some of the people who are wealthy because they're people just like us, you know. But, you know, I can only imagine what, you know, some of these people on both sides are going through. People are hungry because they want to survive. And the ones who have it all, they're afraid of some people because they think everybody's going to rob them. And that's not even the case.
Ocho Cinco. Chad Ocho Cinco. Lady Phoenix.
Yeah, that was him. Right.
He's a smart dude. You know what I mean? You know, he said the things that he buys, like it looks flashy, but it's fake. Now, I mean, I'll look at it in two sides. If you're just doing this because like he's frugal, hey, kudos for him. Because I would do the same thing. Except that, like, okay, I mean, people will still probably will try to rob you, like, not even think that's fake. You know what I mean? And I think that's some of the things that people worry about. Like, hey, if I buy this one and it has like $100,000 value for a piece of chain, somebody's easily going to try to put a gun on me and rob me for that. Versus, I get robbed, but the value is far less. And I think that's kind of sucks. Say again?
I said that's facts.
Yeah. It kind of sucks that like you can't really enjoy the things that you have. You know what I mean? It's like you got to kind of conform the way how people are going to view you as. But at the same time, the other folks, right, who are wealthy, they don't be wearing that stuff anyway. Some of them don't even be driving like the fancier cars. You know, they probably drive like, you know, like Hondas or Teslas, and that's pretty much it. You know, nothing. I guess nothing too expensive. You know what I mean, or too flashy. Most of them will keep it like a low profile.
Hey, can I talk about like one mentor I had? I want to say this with disclaimer: I am not rich. Don't come for me. You come for me. You come get these hands because I'm not rich.
Yeah,
that's my disclaimer. You don't get these hands. I'm not rich. That's the only thing you're gonna get is these hands. I'm not rich. Now, how he became my mentor because I work at a nonprofit and I gave speeches and I did tours and whatever for this job, and they were getting money, and so he's one of those philanthropist people and this was a mentor I just check in once a year. This person owned, basically, he's the Comcast or Viacom of Canada. That's how rich he is. All right. When he talked about like people looking rich and then people acting rich, he said there was a big difference. So a lot of times people who wants to fit in, there are jewelry that's less valuable that looks like something that's valuable. So you can have something that look like white gold or yellow gold, but it's not. It could be something. It could be silver, but the way they shine it and whatever they add on to it is less value, but it's still valuable. Like it's not like 30,000. It's probably 3,000. When people go ahead and they buy products, a lot of times when they go out of the country, they go to the places that actually makes the Gucci and the Pradas and the Birkins. They don't go to the store. Sometimes they just travel out the country. They have access to the factory itself. They don't buy stuff full price. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times what people think what's rich, people need to understand like what's really rich. Like you need to hang around really rich people. None of that reality star BS, because that stuff is BS.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Man,
what up, Vic?
Homie Vic. Vic, what up, baby? What's going on?
Yep.
Oh.
He'll come back.
Salutes to Kyle. He says, I think we can all acknowledge that there are some obviously zero rich people.
Absolutely.
If you're rich, you're skiing. Oh, so hold on, let me see. He said, if you're rich, you're skiing, jet setting, or hanging out in a vacation home.
I love that that's what people think rich people do all day.
Some do jet ski. Some do.
Yeah. He said a comment earlier about hold on, let me switch around so that you can see it, Alonzo. He says, I love the sentiment, but I disagree with Alonzo. Any person of any race has the most guaranteed chance of success through generational wealth. Unless you were born from a straight shot of sperm, you better have a ridiculous talent, drive, or inventiveness.
I mean, yeah, basically what I think maybe he misunderstood. So what I said was, yes, even with generational wealth, a person generally screws it up within 2 generations. So yeah, or a family usually screws up within 2 generations, which is the purpose of having a family trust. But even still, that's like, for example, right? My mother-in-law worked for Morgan Stanley for about 30 years. I'm a financial advisor. When she retired, I was like, hey, are there any black guys who are financial advisors at Morgan Stanley that you could, link me with? And she was like, well, yeah, but those guys are all retiring. I was like, well, that's even better, because they can pass down their book of business, right? This is something that we don't do in our own community. But I can guarantee you, if my name was Gurdeep and there was an Indian man who was retiring from Morgan Stanley for the past 30 years, and my mother-in-law was retiring from the options trading desk, then yeah, she would introduce me to them and they would pass their book of business down. This is part of the responsibility of rich people. We don't have to go back and hand it out to quote-unquote Pookie and Ray Ray and let them buy rims and Timbs. We can pass it down to younger folks who are starting out, and instead of making them dig a hole in the dirt, we can say, hey, listen, start here, there's a little foundation already, and then have them build from there.
Yeah.
Hey, Alonzo, can you talk more about nepotism? Because I think a lot of people feel, 1, it's not fair. And then 2, also it's not fair because they feel like other people need to be given that shot. And why nepotism is important. And how realistic is that, number 3?
Well, with us, nepotism is very, very important. It's very difficult, though, because, one, our businesses aren't structured to last. For a large part, a lot of African American businesses aren't built or structured to be long-lasting corporations. They're built to be sold, and so, or structured to be sold, I should say. So nepotism becomes very difficult for one reason there. For second, because this beat is fire. For second, it becomes difficult because future generations generally don't want to get into the chicken business or the hair business or, hot press your logo onto a Dickie suit business. And I'm not trying to diminish black businesses, but I also have to call a spade in what I've seen in my 40 years of life, right? So, that makes nepotism another difficult thing because you don't have a business exit strategy or succession plan. We don't even know what those words or concepts are oftentimes. But we know we're going to get an LLC and get $150,000 in business credit. That's all I know. But so, it is important to have nepotism, however, because that's how things like aerial investments remain in existence.
Right? Bless you. You okay, Alonzo?
My fault, yo. Damn.
Some good trees, man.
Maybe you might need a smoke less from those trees, man. It's like it's
Smoking that bubble Kush, man.
My fault.
I'll mess with you. You got somebody.
Yeah. My fault, yo. What was I saying?
Oops.
No, but
No offense, but
what's good, man?
What up, Vic? Victor Freeze, how you doing?
Vic, what up, baby?
Look at that.
Alonzo, you were saying like some of the business is not transferable.
Yeah, so sometimes they don't want to transfer the businesses and stuff. It becomes difficult because of the business structure, but nepotism is important because of stuff like, think about companies like JP Morgan Chase. And then a company I mentioned earlier, Morgan Stanley. Well, JP Morgan Chase happens to be the grandfather of Henry Sturgis Morgan, who is the creator of Morgan Stanley. So just from keeping that wealth in the family bloodline, you have two global conglomerate wealthy companies that are all over the place. And there's only a few families who actually run the world. And they're all like huge companies, Bayer, Johnson & Johnson, and stuff like that. But I'll pause there.
Hey, real quick, can y'all hear me?
Vic, we can hear you, dog, loud and clear. What up, Vic?
Hey, let me know when it's my turn.
It's your turn right now, family. Go ahead.
Go ahead, go next, bro.
Hey, I haven't heard like a lot of what y'all said, but I did hear some. I don't know if someone already, gave this perspective, but the way I see it, just based on the question from the thumbnail, there's absolutely no reason why celebrities or businessmen, it wouldn't matter what the profession was that put them in that upper echelon or elitist position in our community, if they don't feel any connection to the community, or they don't even feel safe in their community because they are the victims of the very community that they would love to be comfortable walking around in. They would love to be celebrated, but the wealth gap creates this, and there is something called they call it it's a spirit of
survivor's remorse.
Look, follow where I'm going. Someone knows this spirit, right? It's a spirit of, it's like lack. It's another word for lack. Find the word for me, someone.
Destitute.
In other words, if you're always, I gotta get mine, it ain't gonna be enough. Scarcity mindset. That's the word I was looking for. We're caught in this scarcity mindset, which is why the terms and tropes like crabs in a barrel are always referred to in our community, and it would take almost a communist style regime to create an atmosphere where we can go back to our natural selves, where we don't have to participate in the matrix, if you will. That's why you can go to prisons and see the most camaraderie, despite people being from different areas and things of that nature, because it forces you back into community, even with the lesser or the cancer of your community. You got to deal with that. You can't just leave them on the side of the street and pretend that they're not there. You got to deal with that, because a community or a kingdom is judged by its lowest subject. If back in the day, the reason that Asians had the almost your reputation, they had a reputation of being smart and dangerous and focused, disciplined. That's how the average person thought of an unknown Asian that he's never met and never spoke to. Whether they got glasses or they don't. They're gonna be dressed a certain way. They're gonna be moving a certain way. They're gonna be business. There's not gonna be a lot of laughter and play. It's, you know what I mean? Because they on a mission. If you look at the Mexican people, I don't care how much discord they may have in their households, it don't spill in the street that often. Celebrations spills up in the street, joy, partying, but you don't see a line full of Mexicans fighting and shooting up at each other. That's not what's happening. They have a culture, they have a standard. And I don't think that what we are considering our leaders, which are people who have been propped up by the greater society, and now we're looking at those people like they owe us because they live in a big house. And they don't really owe us because they don't feel connected to us. They've gotten their gains not necessarily through a community source. So if we wasn't with them shooting in the gym, why would they owe us? Why would they have that? And even if they did owe us, then you would have to make it comfortable where they could be without being pressured, without being questioned, without saying, hey, can you let me hold a little something? You see a a girl who's a dime, you don't immediately just go tell her that she's beautiful and how she just make your whole world. You kind of slow roll her a little bit. And I don't think we have the business acumen in general as a society to create an environment where our best and our brightest are comfortable. They getting hazed. And when they in school, they getting tormented and tortured. They Michael B. Jordans and shit. You think the girl's the only one that told Michael B. Jordan that he was corny? Why the fuck would he want to come back over here unless he just happened to be touched in his heart to feel some way about children, perhaps? You don't give a fuck about y'all niggas that went to school with him. Y'all never treated him right. So I think if we treat each other better, if we operate as a society and start it with our neighbor, the people, start with our own families and start loving on the people around us. Stop walking by that homeless man. Stop doing that. Even if you ain't got no money for him, talk to him. Offer him a job. Tell him something you know that can help him right now. And if we start looking at each other as connected, we won't need all of these celebrities to come back with they, and sell their jewelry just to feed us. For what? Feed each other. That's all I got.
I should zoom you in, Vic, because you're definitely preaching on that note. Big time, for sure. Thank you for coming up, man, and sharing that, by the way.
Oh, you hear me?
I'm gonna kick it with y'all a few more minutes.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. This is a rarity. I never challenged Vic ever, but this is a rarity.
But yeah, I'm closing it out there. I'm passing the mic.
No, but I got to challenge you a little bit, Vic. I got to challenge you just a little bit.
That's
right?
it.
All right, but see, this is the problem. The problem is the fact that, all the things you said about like how they're not treated well or how they don't feel connected, but that's what you have to have understanding. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in my neighborhood no more. I'm out of there. You know what I mean? But I have a level of understanding that things need to change, and when I get to where I need to get to financially, I'm gonna do what I can to help my community out. No question. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand why these things happen. You know what I'm saying? Why people, was making fun of me. Why we was living in the conditions that we were in. Why things why things were happening the way they were happening. You know what I mean? I understand it systematically, politically, and socially. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the people that's in our communities are not accountable for things that they're doing, or that they shouldn't do better. Of course we should do better, right? But now that us that have better, we need to do better. So if somebody's in a position to do better, then they should. You know what I mean? And stop focusing on the black people who done robbed you or who done treated you bad or whatever. There's always gonna be that in every community. You know what I mean? You don't think the people in the civil rights era or the other eras had opposition? They did, even from their own people. But they was focused on their bottom line. They was focused on the overall goal. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't focused. The naysayers was the naysayers. It was what it was. You know what I mean? But they was focused on the overall goal. The overall goal was to help us to get something better than what we had. And that's what it was. What she said, I've been saying I'm gonna do it. Might be doing a Basement Creek thing. I don't know what that means, Lady Phoenix, but yeah, please explain. I know you do Michael B. Jordan, Lady Phoenix, let us know. But with that being said, yeah, that's all I gotta say on that point, man. But I understand what you mean. Vic, I understand what you really mean, though, bro, for real.
Let me ask you something, Chris.
I'm here for it.
If you were financially in your landing zone, right? Where you want to be. And let's just say you just had an extra $1 million laying around that you needed to write off on your taxes and you wanted to give it back to your community, wherever you're from.
Yes, sir.
What would be your first move? How do you think you could be most efficient and effective with that money? What would you do?
I would reach out to the people that still live there, because I still got folks on the ground floor there. You and ask them, yo, which I think need to change, because I'm not there no more. You know what I mean? And they'll tell me what needs to change and what needs to happen. And from there, we come up with a plan. We put a plan together. You know what I mean? Because even though I'm not living in my hood no more, you know what I mean? And I'm not in parts of Brooklyn no more like that. You know what I mean? Because I live on a different coast. But with that being said, I still would just come up with a plan to help them out. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah.
So the reason I asked that question is most of the philanthropic efforts that we see from celebrities who do give back, no matter what race they are, it's generally going to be towards or catered towards children, right? So if you build a new park, a new gym, a new education center, whatever, after school spot, this is the kind of things that people think that they do to make an impact. However, what they don't have is time. They can't go there and operate that facility, show their face all the time, and be there and actually put their hands on the people. The children are being influenced by the music, by the social media, and by their friends. These are the people, even if these scourge on our society are 10 to 15% of the population, they are a loud percentage. And it's not like in those times of the Panthers and those days where drugs weren't accepted in your community and people might press you about starting something up in their neighborhood. When somebody was over there messing with somebody who they knew was off limits, oh no, that's the brothers over here. Oh no, this is such and such coming through. Nah, y'all, hey, they get a pass. Make sure he don't get touched. Hey, you go follow him. Make sure he get where he going. Nobody's doing that no more. So all these little Joes, little JoJos with no mamas and no daddies, who's out here trying to get it how they live. So you can't even blame them, because they ain't got no training. They just out here doing what they see on TV. And they see Triple X or whoever coming through their city, PNB rock, it wouldn't matter. You don't have to be no rapper, no celebrity, but they see what they look at is food. They don't look at you as their brother who's doing well and who could perhaps give them an opportunity. They look at you as food. And if you don't open your pocketbook immediately when you see them, they're gonna ask you to, and not so politely. So at the end of the day, it's like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If we don't check our own, why would anybody of any nation, of any race, or anybody who was trying to donate some help or some encouragement or some facilities or some resources to the Black community, why the hell would you ever even want to come? You can't even feel comfortable to come do your services. Dion can't go and raise up a Black HBCU because somebody robbing him in his goddamn son truck while they in the facility winning the goddamn game. And a nigga sit right there beside this goofy ass nigga and enjoy the spoils of his misfortune, and then got nerve enough to talk shit when the man want to leave. But you know the nigga who took his son's shit, and you ain't said nothing. You ain't G-check this nigga and say, hey man, you ain't gotta tell him, but give him his shit back. Ain't nobody getting gangster to stand up for the community. They getting gangster to tear this motherfucker down. And that shit ain't cool. And we in such a pussified version of America that it's not even encouraged to be the kind of dog that it will require to be to check another dog. There ain't enough. The only dogs that's walking around is the criminals. Where's the Doc Hollywoods? Who want to be the Huckleberry? Ain't nobody got the nuts. So they sit there and let the old man get heckled on the train. Because they too scared of the goddamn children. And America's not helping out. So we got to help ourselves. Tired of crying.
Man, I hear you, bro. And like you said, it's twofold. Like, you know what I mean? America not helping us out, but then also we not, you know, we can't do it in our own communities because, you know what I mean? Because we're going to face backlash. You know what I'm saying? We try to stand up for something right. And if it was me helping my community, yeah, I am not going back there to help. So, you know what I mean? If y'all listening, no, I'm not physically going back there to help. I'll send somebody to help y'all, but I'm not physically going back there to help. You know what I mean? You know, not because I got anything against y'all, but because I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just being real. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Here's the thing, you can help the kids out, but I would just want to help the community as a whole, because if I can help the kids and the adults, then I know I can have complete effective change. You know what I'm saying? As much as I can. Not everybody's going to be a part of it. Some people ain't going to rock with it. Some people going to talk bad about it. Some people going to want to see it destroy or try to do things to destroy it. It's fine, man. That's a part of the game. You know what I mean? You're going to have opposition. No matter what you do in life that you're trying to gain success in, you're always going to have opposition. You're trying to get in a new career field, you're going to have opposition. You want to buy a new house, you're going to have opposition. You want to do this, it's always going to be opposition, man. There's always going to be something there a lot of times. You know what I mean? But you got to keep going. You know what I mean? 84 ain't the pick me brother. Yeah, I'm not the brother to do that. No. I'll send somebody to help you, but I'm not going there myself. Don't ask me to. No.
I think there's
you know that facility that Nipsey Hussle was building, because you know the Marathon was more than a clothing store. They
Absolutely.
They have facilities and meeting rooms and places for people to sponsor businesses and everything. That's studios and all. The idea is that every one of these places. And it's funny, I watched one of them 1 minute shorts, and dude was just going off about the Martin Luther King, like it's an intentional insult to injury. That Martin Luther King Boulevard Drive, lane, in every city is where you go to get killed.
Yep.
And it's a spit in the face. And if we're gonna do anything, if we're gonna really just talk about it, we gotta turn over this underbelly. You know, where you scared it. You can't say people are you racist against your own people with good reason. With good reason. And when I say racist, I mean judgmental or prejudice, judging before knowing. Because you've seen that look before. You've seen that style, that head movement. He looked hungry. So those things are warning signs to us, so we avoid certain places, because we just know, just like you just said just a minute ago, I ain't dumb. Because you think it would be dumb for even a member of their own community, a place where you from, that you do know the landscape, you do still have people on the ground, it would be dumb for you to go there and talk about anything. Because it may be the thing that dislodges your future plans, because somebody made a mistake on a day when you were just trying to do good. So why would somebody who isn't attached or connected to that community, who don't know the landscape, don't got boots in the ground, and don't feel no specific type of way, why would they voluntarily go out of their way to take that same risk? It would be even dumber for them. So, you know, at the end of the day, we have to have my people is resourceful, man. I tell you, some of the most intelligent minds are in our correctional facilities. The engineers, the brain power is limitless. And those same people were in your streets before they were in that prison. And we had an opportunity to cultivate those resources, because people are the true resources. That's why they won't get rid of us. Trust me, they could have. They don't want to have to keep hearing niggas nagging and bragging. But guess what? They need us for a couple of things. So at the end of the day, we let in our most precious resources, which are the children, because they're the youngest of the people, but the people who are teaching the children, the people who have their hands on the children, the people who need to actually provide for the children, not our celebrities, need to be empowered. And if we open up resources for people to take their own strides and make their own thing. Hey, you can come here and print t-shirts anytime you get good and damn ready. Bring your own ink. What if it was a FedEx Kinko's that somebody paid for, and just say, hey man, go crazy. Go crazy. How about, you know what I mean, facilities that we can operate out of? I mean, I'm talking about something where what do you call them, the food trucks, they got like kitchens that you can rent out, industrial kitchens, and you can sit there and prepare as if you were in a restaurant with all of their equipment, and then lock all the stuff back up in the pantry and keep it moving. Put your stuff on your truck and run your business. 2020 should have showed everybody everything they needed to see. If you can't get money from your house, you're gonna be in a world of hurt in just a little while. And with all of this AI technology, you ain't gotta wait for no boogeyman. Your job is gonna be on the chopping block. Why in the hell would a man who don't like you, who don't got no love for you, who feel like he have to keep you around for this reason or that, and he get an opportunity to get something that can replace you, that ain't gonna do no crying, no whining, and it'll work 24 hours without making mistakes, without breaks, and you only gotta pay one good time? You be a damn fool. You gonna have AI in your business. But if you can't do it from the house, you may be ass out. So I think that's where the community is gonna have to start pushing towards, is getting ahead of the next curve. We already lost this game. This game was lost a long time ago. They just running the score up. This is poor sportsmanship. But the cheese is always moving. So now all we got to do is get in between it and where it got to go. And it's going digital. We got to get there. We need education to do that.
Now, Vic, I let you in the kitchen, man, but man, you done made a whole buffet up in here, brother. I ain't knew you was gonna do all this. God dang, this brother cooking right now, man. Good grief. Know what I mean? He done made chicken, he done made pork chops, he done made steak, mashed potatoes, he done made everything up in this goddamn thing. Good grief.
It's a little hors d'oeuvres, you know.
Made some more hors d'oeuvres, baby. Know what I mean? Anybody else want to cook real quick?
Chef Curry with the pot.
I didn't say what's up to the panel, man. Peace to everybody up here, man. I ain't see y'all in a minute. Up to the third. What's
likewise, you know?
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, man. You deep cooking, man. Deep frying on that on that note, you know? So
the superstar, Alonzo Hall. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Chief?
All right. Queen forever. Oh, forever, ever. Well, it's good.
No, I was gonna say, I think a lot of what you said is true. I just think there's ways to give back. You know, there are people. So I may not have a connection with the community that I grew up in because I've been gone for so long. But there are people who are boots on the ground, who have a connection, who have that rapport, and that's what you work through. You got to work through, you know, the leaders of that community, whether it be politicians or whatever else, school district superintendents. You know, those are the way you make the most impact. You know, because you can't just come there and say, I'm gonna do this. But I do believe that all of the things that you say, those are things that are being done in a lot of communities. You know, open kitchens where people can come and get their culinary license, or food vendors license for free, get a tech degree for free, certificates, getting, you know, but they're not us. They're not run by us, and they're not spearheaded by us. They're run by everyone else, and they're given the space and the funding to do it. But yeah, everything you said, I can name maybe 5 to 10 programs in the coast I'm in that is doing exactly what you said, and they're in the hood. They're in the you know, the scarier parts of the city, you know, so, or wherever you live. But yeah, I do believe that, you know, the impact, because that's been my vision the whole time, is to go back, and I'm actually working on a lot of things, even though I'm not there. So yeah, I just think we got to do better. You know, we got to find out from the community what they're hungry for. You know, I don't like seeing veterans homeless or, you know, struggling. You know, I don't like seeing elderly people barely can walk down the street trying to go to the grocery store. I don't like seeing elderly people in the grocery store shopping by themselves.
Hold on, Queen. Hold on. Salute to my man, Dobie Apparel. Dobie, what's good, baby?
Yeah, I don't like seeing single moms struggle. I don't like seeing men struggle. And there are a lot of programs. There's a lot of things that go on, like especially the re-entry department, where people are coming out of being incarcerated. There's a lot of things that they're into that's amazing on the coast I'm in. So, yeah, I just think we got to do better, you know.
Hey, I'm gonna end on this so y'all can you know, close out when y'all get ready. But based on what Queen was saying, and you know, I know that there are some things that exist, and you know, some organizations that have been around for years. And the funny thing about it is they're lesser known, and just like grants and federal funding and other programs that are local and things like Queen are talking about that are just, you know, nonprofits and things that people have donated and people do have available for people to take advantage of, they just don't get taken advantage of because they don't know. The people don't know that they exist. And, you know, a lot of the people doing the suffering are men, and men suffer in silence. We don't like to ask a lot of questions. We like to figure it out ourselves. And if we don't got to go to the doctor to get no checkup, we ain't. So, you know, a lot of this information slides right up under our radar, and help is available. And a lot of people who can technically qualify for minority status get to take advantage of a lot of those programs that were initially intended and designed for us. So I think our awareness needs to be raised, and a lot of these platforms need to make an effort to use social media to make a lot of those programs and organizations more visible, so that our celebrities know that they even exist if they want to help fund things like that, so that the people on the ground can continue to do their good works. I appreciate y'all time, man.
No problem, man. Vic, you already know what it is. Salute to the homie B-Eazy. B-Eazy, what up, man?
We out.
Hey, what's up with it?
B-Eazy, what's good?
Chilling.
What up, B-Eazy? How you doing, man?
Not too much, man. What's up with y'all?
Nothing much, man. Just cooking as usual, man, on these variety of topics. So,
Okay, honestly, I didn't catch any of them, bro. I just came up to show support.
Nah, I appreciate the support, man. Yeah, we were just talking about, man, about rich black people. Should they be responsible for the black community?
We all should be responsible. Ultimately, what black community are we talking about? Because nobody truly establishes that. So when people say the black community, what they're really talking about is the hood and the ghetto. Do all of us live in the hood and the ghetto? Because when they're talking about responsible, they are typically talking about responsible for the depraved and disenfranchised conditions. Are they responsible for the rundown, abandoned places? Are they responsible for the crime? That's ultimately what people are asking. But I don't know. Every black person I know don't live in the hood. And when it comes to the disenfranchised areas, it's actually the government's responsibility. But people try to make it seem that, oh, that's socialism and that's government handout. When the banks crashed, who came in to save them? The government. So you mean to tell me that black people are Americans, and when it comes to immigrants, they say, yes, we got to roll out the red carpet. They're fleeing political persecution in their country. So we have to give them these resources, healthcare, all sorts of economic opportunities. This is the government doing that. But then when it comes to blacks, it's like, well, y'all got LeBron James. Have him figure it out. Yeah, he should make a contribution, but it's ultimately not his job to figure it out. We're all responsible to make a contribution. If we all live in the same house, it's not my sole responsibility to clean the house. Mr. Best got to contribute. M3 got to contribute. We all got to do our part. Some people are going to contribute more because they're able to, but the responsibility is ultimately up to us and the government, because a lot of these things are caused by the government. And this is what people will say, oh, we don't need the government. We didn't need the government meddling into our affairs and causing COINTELPRO and all this other stuff. And a lot of times people let the government off the hook. That's like if somebody come and vandalize your house and then they leave, and then you say, well, who is responsible for the cleanup? Did the dude that vandalized your house, do he have to contribute? Nah, he already did it. Just let him go. That's what the government is doing. They redlining, blockbusting, urban renewal, Highway Commission Act, debt peonage, Jim Crow laws, racial covenants, all of these black codes. The government enacted and sanctioned these. So now then we just say, oh no, the government has no responsibility. They have a responsibility to help destroy the community. But when it's time to empower and build, it's like, no, don't rely on the government for that. You're not supposed to rely on the government, but the government does owe a responsibility because we're all Americans, right? And they care about the liberty, the same liberties that they're caping for all the immigrants. They're supposed to be doing that for native-born citizens, Black Americans. So
yeah,
too many times people let the government off the hook and fixate on the celebrities, but they don't hold the celebrities accountable enough because they like to be entertained. They be mesmerized and entertained, and then they say, oh, well, why isn't this celebrity doing something? Well, why wasn't you saying that when you was fanboying in his face? You seen him and you ran to get him an autograph. You didn't say, hey, bro, why don't you contribute a little bit more to the community? You was thinking that, but when you seen him, you got mesmerized, googly-eyed, and asked for a signature. So then you part of the problem. I'll land right there.
I feel you. 100%. It's good to see you, B-Eazy, man. Long time no see, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you, bro. Definitely, I didn't get to catch your earlier stream, but
yeah,
I know y'all was rocking out earlier, man. So
yeah,
I didn't. I know that you had a tell-all, man. So I wasn't able to get all of the DJ Eddie King tea, but I'm sure that it was very refreshing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tell-all part 2, pretty soon. So I don't know when, but we'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. M3, Mr. Bass.
Yeah, I'm still here. I just gotta give a quick shout out to Miss Nick is night. Well, is the night. So salutes to you, Nick.
Salute, Nika.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. before I go ahead and head out to the gym, man. Yo, man, these live streams, man, are elevating to like its highest potential. You know what I mean? Well, no, it's not. We're not even at the highest yet. You know, I feel like, but we're reaching our peak, like, you know, as a united family, and I'm really grateful, man, for all you guys, right? That's putting like the due diligence for knowledge and relationships, and even like just seeing you guys like with your own streams, man. Like, I feel like the community is waking up and it's finally growing. Like, the people that are here are getting tired of this whole same like rhetoric. B-Eazy, just to kind of give you a, I'm going to just give you like part of a summary of what kind of went down on DJ Eddie King's live stream. Mm-hmm. So basically, we just pretty much having, you know, our classic, like, you know, get together, you know, bro talk.
Yeah.
And a lot of things was going in like in the smooth flow of things. But we still keep having people from the manosphere still coming here complaining about women. I don't know what mark that you have to kind of go to, right? But just kind of scroll through kind of close like to the ending where you probably hear like, you know, somebody say they have smoke from me or whatever, and then you'll kind of see what went down. But
I seen someone say that they had smoke for you, and then I didn't really get to see you know, if the smoke turned into flames. I just seen that part, and then I had to tune out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll just say, like, go check it out. I mean, nothing harmful or anything, right? It still salutes to the brother that did came up. Forgot his name already, but the point is that I'm just using this as an example of how, like, you know, the manosphere still keeps, you know, hold on to that same rhetoric, just like feminism. People just don't know when to let go of these hurt type of relationships. You got women come up there still talking about how dirty these dudes are and how they did them wrong, but then yet you still keep going after these same type of men, you know, just in a different form. That goes for the same way where, like, bros need to also hear the truth as well too. And the truth is that the ones you complain about, you just wish that you could have them. But these women that you complain about are low quality women. So we got to make it make sense, people. And that's why, like, having these type of topics, whether it be money talk, whether it be like education, whether it be about, like, you know, gathering our people together, anytime when we keep talking about what is going on with us, fighting between us, this whole gender war, it doesn't get us anywhere, nowhere whatsoever, you know? So, but then yet, this is the downplay to it, because right after when we ended the live stream, then O'Shea Dude Jackson comes live, kind of talks about the same points I was talking about how we need to kind of, like, you know, Mansfield need to kind of get over these, oh, I hate black women type of campaigns. Because now you're taking things to overseas. You're going after the white women or Mexican women, whatever type of women, non-foundational black women, and then now you're delivering your complaints about those women to their community, and all they're going to do is just laugh about you behind your back. So, you know, you probably already get the gist of, like, you know, as far as when Miss Purdy things, which I'm gonna definitely talk about that tomorrow. When I get some time, probably somewhere in the early afternoon.
Yeah.
But
M3,
you know, I'll say that, DJ.
No, I was gonna say, is it possible we could do a part 2 me telling it all, because I still have more to say, but like stories, you know. But you know, it's whenever you're ready, man. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely do something. Either probably next. We'll pick a day. We'll definitely pick a day to have another, like, you know, DJ in the afternoon. Yeah. Right, probably like Monday or in the afternoon. We could do something like that. But
excellent.
Yes, and she says, make love, not war. I swear I'm not a hippie, even though I do smoke. Okay. All right. I feel you. But yeah, we definitely have to try to promote some form of love where we can hold each other accountable, but then also move on from the hatred and try to come up with solutions. Because every time when people complain about this gender war, they never want to hear the solution that is presented to them. And that's the thing that triggers them the most, is solutions. So solutions equals accountability for both men and for women. And for anybody else, besides the brother or whatever, right? Like I said, I'm not mad at the brother or anything like that. But I'm going to use that guy, Rufus Truth. I'm going to use that guy as an example to all the other men who keep talking about this gender war. So if you listen to Rufus Truth, yes, I'm using you as an example, and I'll use anybody else out here in this chat or the panel as an example if y'all still drilling on this stupid gender war shit. And I'm not trying to shame y'all or whatever, because I understand everybody's still going through things that you can't really easily let go of. But try to find a solution. And what are the solutions? The solution is Nick at Night. Nick is the Night. Is basically, look, try to be humble and come together and actually see a need for the opposite gender. Like, you don't have to keep dwelling on like what black women are not doing. Look for the ones who are actually contributing. Matter of fact, here's a visual solution. You know, Queen is here. Sometimes you'll see Lady E. Sometimes you'll see other women on a panel. They're part of the solution. They're coming here to actually bring foundation to the community. Outside of what they do, it's not up to me to tell about what their business, but I know firsthand that they do stuff for the community that actually builds an empowerment. But in YouTube, all you hear is a bunch of people talk about the same rhetoric every single day. I could go on a live stream right now and be like, oh, this bastard's talking about women again. Oh, this woman, oh, she bitter. Who hurt her? She's talking about men, you know? But nobody wants to come up with the end and goal.
No.
So that's all.
The solution is start with the person in the mirror. Stop blaming everybody for your failed relationships and look at what you contribute and change you and move accordingly. That's the problem. Because all those women who didn't want to listen to you, there's a common denominator, and it's you.
No, it's not.
All you women who can't find a man, blah, 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 stop picking the ones you know you picking because they fun, they exciting, and then you get mad when you get bad results.
Mm-hmm.
That's like going to the cheap store, buying that $5 dress, knowing you only gonna get one wear and one wash, and you mad because it done shrunk, it done changed colors, and now the seams are ripping. You shouldn't have went and bought that $5 dress. So I'm just saying, men, stop buying your $2 tie. Women, stop buying the $5 dress. Do better, and you'll get better results.
$2 tie. I don't even think, do that exist?
Oh yeah, there's some $2 ties out here. But anyways, that's my summary. B-Eazy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bit let's just say befuddling because I mean not really for me, but it should be for others because it's just as if you go to like Big Pharma, right? They have the infrastructure, the technology, the resources to come up with cures. But what is more profitable? To keep you coming back and having treatment, have to take this pill and that pill versus being outright cured and now you don't have to come back. So the same logic is applied to these gender war type of talking points and dynamics. If they present a solution, i.e. a cure, then they're cured. They don't have to keep talking about what's ailing them. But if they keep giving you a pill here and a pill there, they're prescribing you something to come back to. So ultimately, they're not solving anything, but they are gaining something, whether it's the clout, the views, the clicks, the egotistical euphoria that they get that's kind of like a dopamine hit to them. But complaining about a problem without posing a solution, they have a word for that. It's called whining. So if you are going to basically be blathering, where's the solution? Otherwise, I have to take the position that you're not looking for a solution. You're just looking to complain. And as much as people like to talk about victim this and victim that, aren't you trying to be a victim by complaining about something that you have the power to change, or complaining about something that doesn't affect you? If you don't like cheeseburgers, just go to the pizza restaurant. Why are you complaining about burgers that have bacon on them and cheese, and I don't like lettuce on this, and man, it was well done, but you don't eat burgers, so why are you eat, bro? You got pizza, you got chicken. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're creating an issue just for the sake of creating an issue, and then you follow up and say, I'm a red pill alpha. But you're complaining all the time. I thought you lived a life of sustenance and prominence and luxury, but you spend the majority of your time complaining. Why isn't the majority of your time spent telling me, man, I got this bad chick. Man, I drive this beautiful car. Man, I live on this dope property. Man, I made X amount of money, because that's what you're saying your life has amounted to. But the majority of your life is just ultimately hopping on social media, complaining about the opposite gender, what you don't like. You'll spend 10 hours telling me what you don't like. And I say, okay, do a stream about what you do like. The stream is 10 minutes long. You can't even you say you want the opposite sex, but you can't even spend hours telling me what you like about the opposite sex, but you can spend months telling me what you don't like. At that point, when it's not about the other people, it's about you. I'll land right there.
That's deep. That's deep.
That was good.
That's deep,
that was
brother.
good.
That's deep, man. But we're gonna have another B-Eazy Rig show, man.
Shoot,
It will be on Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm there, man.
All right, for sure,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. You got to come through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they be on the late night, like at 10 o'clock, so Pacific time for those who are not in the.
Yeah, we will just be starting up right now.
yeah. Hey, look, man, this was definitely a good stream, guys. I'm gonna close out from here, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in on this one, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, and Queen, you know, if you have any topics you want to talk about, man, feel free to shoot it. You know,
I got you. I'm gonna shoot you in the back chat, baby. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But don't literally shoot. All right. Smooth criminal.
Whatever. No, I come do it to your face. I ain't like that. You know, me and you, you know, we just got this love-hate relationship, you know, so go.
I'm a lover. I don't hate nobody.
I'm gonna do it.
I don't hate nobody. Okay. Don't get twisted.
Black Knight.
Okay. See, that's the hater in you though. But see, I'm on love. You know what?
Yesterday you was the Pink Panther.
He's that's the hater in you.
Hey, you know what? God bless you, Queen. All right, I'm all about peace tonight.
Thank you. I'm sending you a virtual hug. Oh, where's my money at though?
No, I don't need that. We don't get paid around here. All right. So look, but thank you for coming in. At least half of it. All right, everybody. All right. So. Thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. Make sure that you ladies and gentlemen and you thieves that be stealing people's content, get your minds right as always. You know who you are, you thief. But anyways, I'm going to keep saying that. So anyway, salutes to everybody that's in here contributing to the live streams. And go check out, you know, Mr. Best in World's content, DJ Eddie King's content, and everybody else's content, EazilyRigged as well. So salutes everybody. Thank you, fam. Peace out. And have a good night.
Good night.
Okay? So, this is always the hard part. Got to try to find the outro. You know, streamer. Hopefully, there could be like an update where like the intros and outros could be just easier to play without having to shift through. We got like a lot of shit, so excuse me for that.
knowledge and relationships.